Welcome to Bourbon with Brad.
The views and opinions shared on the Bourbon with Brad podcast are our own and those of our guests. Nothing we discuss should be taken as financial, legal, business, or gambling advice. Don't make investment, business, or betting decisions based on our conversations, as you should always talk to a qualified professional. Always drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and only consume alcohol if you are of legal drinking age.
AI, data, privacy, cybersecurity. Across all 50 states and federal, the law changed overnight. But this morning, you're not scrambling. One coffee, one scroll. Every new development that matters, in plain English, reviewed by an attorney linked to its official government source. That's Docket Daily. The 4 pillars, every morning, one place. Start your free 2-week trial at docketdaily.ai.
And we are back in the boiling hot bourbon studios of Indiana, PA.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. Man, it's hot out there, isn't it?
You know, we went from 45 degrees, windy and rainy, to like 1,000 degrees and no wind, and this
Stifling
humidity that's like 99.9%.
Yeah, it's just not even comfortable. You just even getting in and out of the car to place is just like, ugh.
I'd actually talked myself into sitting outside and smoking a cigar the other night.
Did you?
Yeah.
In this?
What the hell kind of shit's that?
I don't know. Are you all right?
No, I'm not. My wife won't let me smoke in the house. So
Well, that makes sense then.
but I suffered through.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, as you know, I traveled to New York back and forth real quick here in the last 24 hours, and boy, you get into the cement city, and I'm telling you what, it was 103 on the temperature, and that cement was just boiling. It was making people crazy. There was a couple that jumped to the top of the Empire State Building.
That's right. You were there to see all that.
Yeah, I walked in. The helicopters were hovering.
That's crazy.
I'm like, man, what's
thinking,
going on? I said, King Kong back or what?
How'd they know I was coming?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I guess he proposed up there.
Well, I saw they were in court, or they were walking hand in hand into court. I mean, they'll probably get a slap on the wrist, I would think.
Well,
I mean,
it is
like they have to like the police have to set an example for other citizens. Who in their right mind is going to go up there anyway?
Well, like I told you earlier, I said just talking about it at 1,480 some feet in the air, that just makes me, it gives me all that kind of fright, you know?
Yeah.
I feel a little imbalanced right now just talking about it. And I don't think they had any wires. They're just hanging on to the top antenna.
Don't fall off your chair.
I know. I'm just I'm like, man, these guys got, just for a video, I'm sure they were filming themselves, right? So,
Well, the footage will probably go viral now.
oh, yeah. Well,
Especially
yeah.
since they got arrested.
Right?
It's funny.
Yeah, well, good for them. They figured a way to get on to, I guess they climbed through some.
So they didn't climb the whole way up.
No, I think somebody
observation
was
deck?
surmising that maybe they got through some panel on the 100th some floor and then climbed up. Yeah, but it's nothing like starting way up there outside,
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was enough for me to sit there at the observation deck looking out that window going, oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is really high up
That's
here.
nuts.
Yeah. So, AI is moving, isn't it?
Continues to march on.
I know. I actually
time itself.
I asked you for some AI assisted help this week because I was traveling in the car. So the new law says you don't talk to your phone, you don't do anything with your phone, so you kind of just hands free. So Perry, fill me in on a few of the headlines that are going on. Let's talk about them.
So not to promote it anymore, but I did use Gemini to put this little outline together of the top 5 AI stories in the news in the last 7 days.
Yeah.
The first one I came up with is that the U.S. Department of Commerce lifted its short-lived emergency export restrictions on Anthropic's Claude Fable 5 and Mythos 5 models.
Yeah. And remember when
it was, I think it said 18 days ago, or 8 days ago. 18 days ago.
Yeah. That was quick.
It was quick. So they what they did was the reversal agreement, as stated by Howard Lutnick, the Secretary of Commerce, was that they're going to Anthropic will have to do risk audits, proactively scan for patch safety flaws. scan for and patch safety flaws. Threat reporting, they have to. They're obligated to notify the government of any detected malicious use. Pre-release precedent, Anthropic agreed to collaborate with U.S. officials on rigorous security protocols for all future model releases. And then Secretary Lutnick warned that the administration reserves the right to immediately reimpose the ban if Anthropic slips up. So they're not. Well, they're not.
That answers my that answers my question: is who in the government knows what to do with the most cutting edge model, right? So clearly they don't know what they're doing. So the agreement is that Anthropic is going to self-regulate itself.
That's pretty much what, and then the government's going to regulate them regulating themselves.
Yeah, and if you don't regulate yourself properly, then we will ban it again.
Yeah. So
for a third time.
Yeah. Stop, bro. You'll stop again.
Yeah, I did see on Cursor, because it does give you all the options of the different, platforms, that Fable 5 was back as well on Claude. So
just to remind our listeners, these are the platforms that Anthropic built to seek out weaknesses and flaws in people's security, right? Or in their cybersecurity systems.
Well, and that's one of the that's one of the cutting edge things of this frontier, and I'll call it a frontier model because it is the most cutting edge model, and that's one of our other headlines I think this week is what OpenAI is coming out with 5.6, is it?
Yeah, 5.6.
Yeah. So and they're touting that as being something similar to Mythos and Fable. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's actually the second story that I came up with, which is they call it a gated preview. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but marks the first time in history that the federal government has directly intervened to control the launch of a commercial AI model. So that tells you a lot, the fact that they want to control the release of it. Following an official request from the Trump administration, OpenAI shifted its planned public release to a heavily restricted temporary preview. So it says the reasons behind the intervention are the legislative trigger, advanced cyber capabilities, fear of exploitation, same problems I have with Anthropic, I guess.
Yeah, I think this form that this self-regulating frontier model form will probably be in place with everybody that's coming out with their new models from now on.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Since since the Mango, the top 6 have agreed to,
and they all, to
share their models first with the government and abide by whatever restrictions that they put on them.
Yeah, it follows up with basically this. It's almost copied and pasted from the Anthropic story that they'll comply and there's case by case approval, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So that is the ChatGPT 5.6, as you mentioned. The third story that came up is this is pretty interesting because this is the second time this has happened, I think, to Anthropic, right?
Yeah.
We talked about this a few months back.
We did, yeah.
Scraping scandal involving Alibaba centers on a massive model distillation campaign that Anthropic exposed back in early June.
And for our listeners, Alibaba is essentially China's version of Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the second time. Was it the same company then?
I don't think it was Alibaba the first time. I thought it was because we talked about another Chinese company doing this, or at least Chinese engineers kind of reverse. Instead of building out the data centers, they were just peppering getting these subscriptions. They had, they got rightful access to it. It's not like they were stealing access.
Well, this must have been a lot bigger. I think.
They probably they probably did it in a big way. So you can imagine if you had like 50,000 enterprise. Claude accounts, and you've set it up systematically to just keep hitting it with question after question after question, and then now you can reverse engineer it and basically train your models on their cutting edge model without having to put all that infrastructure in place.
Yeah, they call it the adversarial model distillation.
Yeah, it's
they basically, it says they systematically prompt a superior AI model, that would be Anthropic in this case, gather its complex step-by-step reasoning outputs, and use that high-quality data to train their own cheaper, less advanced systems. So, yeah.
I'm pretty sure in one of the bills I looked at, Perry, that the government has something on the table to make that illegal, So yeah. I'm sure they're going to protect our companies, Yeah,
they should. Absolutely. It's.
But now you're getting into international law, so...
Yeah, but it's still, well, okay, so IP here doesn't mean anything to.
Well, it does. I mean, you have commerce that, across the state lines, and if they're not going to abide by it, then certainly there's, you start playing the Cold War tactics, right?
Yeah. So it says the scale was between April 22nd and June 5th of this year. The operators generated 28.8 million distinct interactions with Claude.
Well, that's almost as many as I did.
Yeah, that's right. You did yours in like a month and a half. Yeah.
They'll be knocking on my door next going, are you reverse distillation? No, I'm not that smart.
So to bypass...
I'm just asking that many questions because I don't know that much.
Yeah. To bypass Anthropic's strict automated filters that probably came about from the last time this happened, the API rate limits... filters and API rate limits, the operators deployed an infrastructure of nearly 25,000 fraudulent user accounts. It's crazy.
Wow.
According to Anthropic's disclosure to the Senate Banking Committee, the campaign did not just randomly query the system; it systematically targeted Claude's most commercially valuable high moat features.
Well, that's going to be an issue, and I'm sure it's not. Well, now it's the two known ones, right? So you got to figure if these are the two known, there's got to be others out there too, right? That maybe aren't doing it to this level, that are hitting the radar.
Yep.
So. It's a concern, and like I said, I think the government's going to protect, its treasure, and its treasure right now in this AI war, and mostly because of China.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Right.
It talks about the geopolitical and legal fallout, which is more up your alley. Distillation exists in a legal gray area, which I think you just said, where it violates Anthropic's terms of service but isn't explicitly classified as standard cyber warfare or illegal under current international trade law.
Yeah.
So I guess we would look for something like that.
Well, I got a headline for us. Microsoft today dropped their Frontier lab.
Oh, that's right. We were just talking about that before.
Yeah, that was breaking news today. So, they're trying to compete. AWS is doing a similar kind of thing, by embedding their experts, providing a kind of a turnkey all-around service for their enterprise clients. If they're having a hard time building out these complex agentic workflow, platforms, they're now dedicating $2.5 billion. It's not a separate company, but they kind of have given it a name. They're calling it the Microsoft Frontier Company, and they're embedding over 6,000 of their engineers into their enterprise clients to help out.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So there's another player.
Well, it's
another big shot.
Yeah, it's finally Microsoft getting caught up. I really feel like they've been lagging.
We've talked about that.
Yeah,
you talked about
Copilot is so far behind in the 6.
Yeah.
I think even Meta AI is pretty close to being ahead of it on the cutting edge stuff.
It almost seems. I'm sorry to interrupt. It almost seems like each of these companies, maybe Microsoft is looking at the bigger picture and saying, well, for us to catch up and recreate the wheel on the LLMs, maybe isn't our best pursuit. Maybe
I think
we should pursue these slightly different angles and approaches where there's a need that nobody else is filling because they're all building LLMs.
Well, and the pitch they were saying is, look, we're going to put it into our Azure, platform. Mm-hmm. Kind of like it's the Microsoft version of AWS's platform, where it's secure. You have the cloud capabilities. You have the low latency and the uptime, all the stuff that you would look for in an enterprise level kind of performance. So now Microsoft is saying, and by the way, we've cut deals with all the major platforms that are great. OpenAI, Anthropic, all the ones that we're talking about, right? Yep. Gemini. And you can use these platforms. In fact, you can select which platform you want to use when you're, and our engineer is going to help set it up. And by the way, we've now also rolled it out throughout our 365. So now you have agentic capabilities and you have the ability to build it out. I think they also have a it's called Firebox or Firefox or Fireworks, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe you could look. Maybe you could look that up. They just came out. They just announced here.
This is Microsoft.
I thought it was something like that, where it's kind of like it's what I'm describing. Where you can kind of use all the different LLMs and you can kind of create what you want.
Let's see.
If you find it, they are trying to catch up, and I think you're right. They've kind of capitulated and said, you know what, and I'm focusing in on the legal AI products, and the only real legal AI product that Microsoft has is a built-in you can add on to Word. So if you're an attorney and you're reviewing a document, it can point out different troubling things that you might want to be aware of, or help it draft, things that other platforms are already doing. And certainly Claude has been doing longer than, most of them, and now OpenAI as well.
Yeah. I don't see. The only thing that's coming up is...
No. I'll have to look on the break. I think it was like Fireworks or Fire something. Again,
Microsoft Scout.
Yeah.
Scout's Microsoft's first autopilot agent. Designed to run locally on your device to coordinate tasks and get work done without needing manual prompts.
Yeah.
The MAI model family. That's an in-house AI model. I see MAI Code 1 Flash, Transcribe.
Yeah.
I don't see anything that sounds like what you're talking about.
Well, moving on. There was a couple other headlines, right?
So speaking of new players in the market, South Korea has confirmed a $1.3 trillion mega investment, which represents a full-scale national mobilization designed to secure absolute dominance in the global
small GDP
AI hardware. Yeah, that's probably their GDP.
It probably will be, and they're going to be taking on NVIDIA directly then in the chip market, huh?
Well, it sounds like they've taken on everybody. The public-private initiative brings together the state with industrial titans, primarily Samsung and SK Hynix, HYNIX, to build out a comprehensive next-generation AI ecosystem. So it's everything, soup to nuts.
And who is the model? Who was the platform here in the United States that came out with the jalapeno?
That's OpenAI.
OpenAI.
So that's the other
OpenAI's
story. Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of like the Elon story where he cut a deal with AMD, or was it Samsung? I think it was Samsung. He cut a deal with where he's, tailoring his own chip models. Certainly getting as many NVIDIA chips as he can, but then when you're kind of hitting that ceiling, or you can't get them, then what do you do, right?
Yeah. So the OpenAI proprietary AI chip Jalapeno represents a major. I love the name. I'm a big fan of jalapenos.
I just see a jalapeno kind of walking across,
on a stick.
Yeah, on a stick.
Represents a major strategic shift to achieve hardware independence. Officially unveiled on June 24th, the Custom Application Specific Integrated Circuit, or ASIC, is designed from the ground up strictly for large language model interface, the process of running already trained models. So
this is already trained models. So this is
just the front end, basically. So it says their intention specifically is to bypass NVIDIA's pricing power, alleviate supply constraints, and heavily drive down operational costs.
Well,
the reasons to do it.
If you're a NVIDIA stockholder, that'll be interesting to see how that affects NVIDIA stock, these two major plays.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to affect that one way or another, because you still are going to have all these new models that are coming out. These frontier models are going to be training, on a different level. And then especially when we get into orbit, are those chips going to have to be, are we going to have to create those chips in a different way, manufacture them in a different way? Are there any special, given the pressures, given the temperature, or is that going to be a controlled climate that's going to be boxed in up there, right? So all those questions are yet to come, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out, And Mr. Loubricity himself
Louis
will walk through the door, and there is not a bead of sweat on that man. That is dapper as he comes.
One last little note on that jalapeno. It says it is not a general purpose processor like a traditional GPU, like NVIDIA. It's a highly specialized piece of hardware optimized around how OpenAI specific algorithms behave.
Yeah.
So they're building it for themselves and pretty much themselves only.
Well, and it was an interesting thing too, Per, on that, front, I want to wrap up with one cool kind of lingo that they're using in the Microsoft world. And it's not just Microsoft, as I told you, AWS is doing it, Gemini, Google, they're all trying to help out by providing their talent to make sure that these enterprises don't deploy, the cutting edge AI out there because they don't have the teams to do it. So they're, putting their engineers in place. So that is known in the industry as forward deployed engineering.
Oh,
yeah,
learned a new word.
A little new slang,
I like it.
I know.
We'll be butchering that by the way.
Oh, we will. Yeah, there's no doubt I'll be stumbling over that like I am the bourbonometer. So,
hey, you said it right.
I know that might be 3 in a row.
It might be. I like it.
And after 11 hours in the car, I can't believe it. But we're going to refill. Mr. Lubricity's in the house. When we come back, we'll be on set with him.
Yep.
And we will be getting into what's going on in his world this week.
And hopefully into that bottle of Heaven Hill bourbon.
Oh, that Heaven Hill. We did it
so beautifully.
And we were enjoying our pre-pour from last week's Mangus. That never goes bad. Thank you, Christy K.
Yeah, thank you, Christy.
We'll be right back.
Cheers.
AI, data, privacy, cybersecurity. Across all 50 states and federal, the law changed overnight. But this morning, you're not scrambling. One coffee, one scroll. Every new development that matters, in plain English, reviewed by an attorney linked to its official government source. That's Docket Daily. The 4 pillars, every morning, one place. Start your free 2-week trial at docketdaily.ai.
And we are back with the one and only Mr. Lubricity himself.
Thank you. Good to be here again.
Good to see you. Welcome to the studios, brother.
This is my first time here for segment 2.
I know.
I'm usually a late arrival to the party, but I feel privileged to move into the upper intellect, upper echelon of intellect, getting in segment 2 now.
Yeah, no, we were doing some audio testing for our big debut as, we're hosting karaoke by the pool. So, that's going to be, we might have to mic up or film one of those.
I'm going to have to.
Make for some great footage for the podcast.
No doubt. I'm going to have to
get
take
everybody
more
to sign a
showers and
waiver.
learn how to sing more.
Oh, we'll get a little Earth, Wind, and Fire going?
Oh.
We got to get Mike Persnock singing. He gets.
I know. He's very good.
Good at it,
yeah, very good. So we'll definitely it'll be a good time. That's just next month. So look forward to some of that. We'll make sure we bring that to you. And we're testing out our wireless mics and they all work, believe it or not. I mean, that was it's kind of like doing my iterations on there. I mean, when you hit 100%, you're like, what? The first time?
I love hanging out with people that get it right the first time.
When we talked about testing this stuff earlier today when you and I spoke, I was thinking to myself, how's this going to work? And I know that the mics into the iPhone is going to be a total shit show. And then I get here, we plug the receiver in. There's 4 mics connect to this receiver. Boom, it recorded right to Apple Video. It's perfect.
Oh, it sounded
Piece
great.
of cake.
Perry, you sound so surprised that things work.
Well,
when Mitch touches stuff, it seems to work.
Not
right?
always, not always. But if you keep working at it, and you're persistent, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's one thing that we are. So, So we did get a little bit of a later start because we were testing out a couple things. I think it's gonna be cool. So we're gonna be filming on the 4th of July event together because we're all playing together.
We are playing golf.
Yeah.
Yes,
so we're gonna mic up for a few holes when we get into that Optimum Lubricity zone. You know what I'm talking about?
We might reach lubricity. My goal every time I get on the golf course is to reach optimum lubricity.
Yes.
Be competitive.
As quick as you can.
This weekend I was invited guest to an invitational event and I had flashes of that old Louis.
Oh, the competitive one.
Good. Yeah.
I know. I mean,
You said you were going into the playoff.
Well,
you
we
guys
made it to. Yeah,
you guys
I
got
actually
real far in.
I missed a putt.
I mean,
I missed a 6-foot putt to take it to a. We were in the playoff flight, and I missed a 6-foot putt to take it to a 2-team head-to-head sudden death to win the overall in the event.
Lou, that's coming from somebody that just had 2 operations, and I know you've had a couple. As far as your wrist goes and your knee as well, right? So. That you're overcoming stuff to do that, right? But you also had a great partner.
I did.
You had Dr. Sleep.
I'm going to tell Dr. Sleep, my favorite anesthesiologist,
right?
who actually just had a knee done
Himself.
At age 76, I think he had his knee done maybe 3 months ago.
And he looks like he could go out and run a marathon.
He could. He's an amazing, I'll keep his name private, but he is Dr. Sleep to us. And
So I wonder if he puts the IV in and then says to himself, okay, count backwards from 100, and then turns the valve on and boom, he's gone.
Or I lost count. I got to start again.
Well, he's 73.
that'd be a bad thing.
Right? That would be me. I'm like, what's that, 90? I don't know.
Yeah, next thing you know, they're waking you up.
Yeah.
Sure. I think anesthesia is one of the coolest things that our country, I'm assuming that anesthesia was created in this country, at least to the extent and sophistication level that we have it now. But that's pretty damn cool that you're laying there and you're talking.
Right.
And then the next time you're talking,
You're out.
your procedure's over.
And you're waking up.
You're coming back.
That's the most amazing sleep I've had in years.
The fact that you say that is so funny because the last time I went under because I had 2 operations, so I'm like, I'm going to stay as alert as I can until I knock out, because I always find it so fascinating. It happens just like a light switch.
It's amazing.
I thought it would be so a few years ago, I had a colonoscopy done because I'm old, and that's the first time I'd ever been under anesthesia. I've had locals and stuff like that, but I'd never been under general. And I know it's just a twilight, but still, to me,
See, I didn't. I told the doctor I want to look at it with him together.
I want that sensation. So I was shocked, Lou, for the same thing. I was thinking, I'll start counting it, and my eyes will get heavy, but no, it was like boom, boom, and they're waking me up.
No, they're telling you just look, just count, to start counting down, and you're like, oh yeah, 10, boom. It's like,
they're like, Mr. Muir, it's time to wake up. It's like, oh my God,
yeah.
That would be a neat guest to have on the show sometime.
I agree.
To understand, get a little bit of feedback from the other side of the mask and the IV
I'd like you to pepper him because you have an understanding a little bit of how the drug world works. So
sure, get a little bit.
And
of
that is a very specific drug.
It is.
So
think about how critical anesthesia is to our existence, right?
If you didn't have that, could you imagine?
Oh, I know. I couldn't imagine what our procedures would be. It'd be painful as hell.
We'd be biting on a lot of towels.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, some of us do anyway.
Anyhow,
more so than we do already. But anyways,
we started talking about Saturday, so we're going to be
we're
mic'd up for our round, our 4th of July, 250th celebration.
Yeah, we might actually get
it's going to be in this segment, so that's what's going to be cool. So it'll be in our 5th segment of this episode. Our very first mic'd up on the course.
Yeah, we could. Yeah,
so
it will be later in this show.
It will be. So that's
it won't drop till Sunday or till Monday.
It doesn't drop till Sunday night, early Monday morning.
That's on Saturday.
It's
look out, you multimedia companies. Bourbon with Brad is coming after you.
Right.
We're
by the way,
all.
I was telling Perry, I said we jumped. Maybe it was Christy K this week. I'm thinking it was because we've been growing about 1,000 followers on Apple alone, right? Every week it seems like, almost consistently, and right around that number. And this week we doubled that.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Right. So thank you to everybody that's out there listening, and to all the new listeners out there, welcome. Go back and you can see our shit show, how it started and has evolved.
Or devolved in certain instances, no doubt.
By the way, my nephew reached out. He to tell me about another bourbon we should try. I'll share that with you.
Great. I'm all ears.
He's like, I heard the episode, heard the shout out. I appreciate it. That was awesome. You guys are the shit. So.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And he's a really good kid. I say kid, but
how many bourbons are there?
He is compared to me. He is.
Well, he is to us.
How many bourbons?
How many bourbons could we try? Could we do this for 3 years and have a new bourbon every week and be?
I'll bet we could.
Is that reasonable?
Yeah, there's a lot of really good bourbons out there, and that's what's really cool. And so when you start going down it, and there's a lot of reasonable bourbons. So our goal is to bring you a bourbon that's not unattainable. We're not going to. As much as I'd love to try the Pappies, we had the Pappies 23 sitting
somewhere along the line that may.
No, we will do that, but maybe in the blind taste test, right? So we're going to put that.
That would be interesting,
right?
To put $100 bourbon against a.
We've been talking about that. That's the other checklist item that we're going to get to. We're knocking out a few of them, so we're getting the karaoke done, we're getting the golf done. The blind taste test sounds like a perfect winter project, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, where we get some of our most critique critiquing, tasting bourbon lovers with a blindfold on, and we'll see what happens, right?
Blindfold around us is a dangerous thing.
Especially in the fifth segment.
Yes, there are people that would argue that we are blindfolded right now.
Yeah, right?
In fact, those that are listening and not watching, you don't know. So we might be blindfolded right
we
now.
could be.
But,
Well, with these lights blaring on it, it feels like, right?
Yeah, and it's 100 degrees outside, and inside here with these lights, it's about 120.
Well, did you see what Butchie sent us today with the rolling brownouts?
I did not see that, but I did see today that it was at the PBN connection. It's the entity that provides the power to the northeastern region, including Virginia and Pennsylvania and all this corridor. It was the largest megawatt. I think 600 and some thousand megawatts
Usage?
of usage today. This is Thursday, actually, that we're talking, but it beat the record from 2006. And actually, interesting to me was the Department of Energy authorized the company to pull back on their energy to data centers. And legally, they gave them like an emergency edict to allow them to pull back on the energy going to data centers.
Well,
today.
sorry, data centers. You're going to have to wait for the power.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
you should be saying sorry to all the people who couldn't get their grok to work.
Well, yeah, get in line. And you wonder why, Claude was rolling. It wasn't because Louis was using it this week.
No, actually, I did another. I had another little mini project.
Oh, did you? What'd you do?
I had to do another. I once again, this is novice stuff, but I took an Excel spreadsheet and I said, I need I don't want an investment pitch deck. I want a kind of a PowerPoint explanation deck to a new project that we're working on with some guys from North Carolina. And as always, it did not disappoint. In about 2 minutes, I took my little Excel spreadsheet and I had a 6-page PowerPoint just kind of outlining exactly what's going on.
And it polishes it up real nice.
It polishes it. Sure it does.
I did the same thing. So that was one of the things I was working on top of, closing the gaps. And I've been, so I told you guys off camera that I've been working on really making sure that I'm not missing anything when it comes to, we're talking scraper coverage over 50, states, DC, and the federal government. So I want to make sure it's comprehensive. We're not missing anything and there's drifting, there's, there's going back. So you have to have, these health measures on that are always overlooking what you're doing. But the cool thing, what you just talked about, I did a market study to see, what's my TAM, what is my total, actual market, and then what is my, realistic market out there. And Claude, it was amazing. So it gave me the spreadsheets initially, and then I said, now put it into a polished format that shows, the numbers in my colors and scheme of the site. And wow.
It's mind blowing, isn't
right?
it?
So that was the very first financial thing that I did, and it's a 6-page. It is awesome.
It blows my mind. And I think one of the biggest challenges for the world going forward is for people to understand magnitude and how massive this world is. Like, we have a tendency to look at things in our own little ecosystem, our own little social pod and whatnot. There's 8.5 billion people on the planet.
And growing.
Which morphs me into a question. You were talking about the laws that you were scraping and everything. How many laws are there, new laws are there with AI since the first of the year? What are we talking about here?
Well, what I thought, when I thought there was like 2,600, there's another 900 that I need to review.
And that's just in the United States?
In the United States.
Wow.
That's between federal and the 50 states and DC. So, and it's growing because I'm closing the gaps. I've moved through the proposed bills. I've moved through the statutes. And we are now, as we're filming, moving on to regulations later tonight. So, and then we're getting into court cases, and executive orders are pretty easy. So that there's pretty much, if there's a gap there, that I would be surprised. But, and then we move to federal. So, and federal is a little more simple than, doing 50 states. It's like dealing with one,
Sure.
So you kind of know where to go with Congress for the proposed bills, .gov, I think it is. And,
so you're way out ahead of this.
well, I'm very much so ahead of it. And not only that, but I'm reviewing every one of them that goes on the site. So,
Well, what a gift to be an attorney and get, first you have to know the words and what the words mean. And for you to be able to do that, it's an amazing, amazing gift.
well, then break it down. And then, with AI's help, we put it in plain English and legal contextual review. So the attorneys have it right there literally just like our commercial. I mean, we do all the heavy lifting. They can sip their cup of coffee, and instead of having to be reactionary, they're ahead of it.
That's awesome stuff.
Yeah, it is awesome stuff, and it's one of a kind.
So, Brad, tell me before we get too deep into segment 3, 4, and the 5th segment. I heard and again, I'm the novice in a number of things here, but tell me, I heard something today.
No longer
about
the bourbon novice.
No longer the bourbon novice. Tell me I heard something about something called the Clarity Act.
Yeah, well, so
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
It's the act that's out there right now for the crypto world. So, and for companies that were kind of reluctant, and I'll use J.P. Morgan because it's one of the largest financial institutions that's out there. And Jamie Dimon's like, nah, we are never going down the crypto world. Mm-hmm. Well, last year they said crypto is the future. So he did a whole 180 and flipped and said, yeah, but before these institutions can really dive into it, they need, hence the Clarity Act, they need some legislation that gives them the backing. Because, the FDIC is very regulated.
Okay.
And you're now getting into this digital world, and you need to have some clarity as to how that's going to operate.
So the Clarity Act is designed for the crypto world.
It is.
And is it crypto vis-a-vis AI? And where do those two cross?
Well, there's definitely intersections in that going on. It's cool because with the crypto, anything that's digital going on right now, and crypto being the digital currency, you can optimize it with AI. You can the way you present it to your customers on the platform. There's AI enhancements, right? So there's no doubt there's some intersection. It kind of weaves back and forth, right? So, but the Clarity Act is strictly crypto, but once it goes through, and the Trump administration has said that that's one of their big initiatives, and there seems to be some bipartisan movement on that because it is the future. I mean, other countries are moving quicker, and again, kind of like the AI race, how do we stay ahead of that? How do we be at the forefront of this? Because we want our dollar to survive, right?
Right.
Whether it's through crypto, whether it's a stable coin, whether it's through any of the major coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum. You go right down XRP, CRO. Little pitch for my for my own holdings on crypto.com. I love them because they that company learned from their first mistakes, and that is to make at least the CEO's first mistakes in his first go around, to make sure you're regulated everywhere you go. And they jumped out, and they were always getting they treated it as an SEC early on.
Okay.
And so, but there's some gray areas, and hence because of the gray areas, you need this clarity. So this bill, proposed bill, that's called the Clarity Act, that's been kicked around, and it's gotten some movement, but it was kind of up against a benchmark in the Congress as we speak here in early July. So they're either going to have to rekindle it, or they're going to have to move it. We'll see how that goes. I think there's going to be some movement there because there's a lot of forces that are kind of, stakeholders that are interested in it.
Sure. It's interesting to me how perhaps 3 years ago, crypto was all anybody talked about, right?
Well, and it was also kind of and anybody asked me about crypto, if you're going to play other than Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're gambling.
Correct. Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah. No doubt. But
let me take 2 steps back.
Okay.
Now. It says there are some cryptos out there that now they're not just a meme coin. They're not just a new coin for this company. They actually have some real purpose. They have some functionality. So if they do, that's the value they can bring to the table, right? And
Got it. You and I know you tried to educate me on the crypto thing 3-4 years ago. And
my son educated me first.
Well, it's interesting.
So him and I have been doing this journey together. It's been fun.
That was like a reverse education, because the young people were educating the old people about what crypto actually was.
It's like, Dad, you got to check this out. And I'm like, so okay. So what is staking? I said, staking? Huh? Oh, it's kind of like putting it into a CD. You commit it for a period of time. You can't touch it, and you're going to get paid interest.
That's a pretty good gig, right?
It is a good gig. And by the way, you're going to get paid interest in either the crypto that you staked, or maybe it's going to be, different. So there's all these variations. It's really cool how it can happen. And, I can, crypto is it's a different financial market, and there's no doubt it's the future. I mean, I'm there too. I'm there too now that it's going to be the future. I don't think it's the future today because we don't have the Clarity Act, but the Clarity Act's right around the corner, and as soon as we do, then all the big industrial partners are jumping in, right?
Sure.
So what happens then? So now you have all these funds. Not just the speculative funds like the Michael Saylors that are out there, sweating it out as Bitcoin jumps below 60, and he's going,
Is it down below 60?
It was this past week. So
Wow.
he had to sell off or potentially sell off a little bit, because he's betting on never sell Bitcoin. Well,
so if you start, and I'm not saying it shouldn't be, but if you start regulating it or allowing the government to oversee it, does that not sort of nullify the original attraction to it?
It definitely does, Per. It's a beautiful observation because the initial allure to Bitcoin, or I mean not Bitcoin, but to crypto, was that it was this non-traceable transaction.
Beyond the reach.
Beyond the reach of the financial
my
markets.
Crypto, and the government couldn't quite reach it.
And nobody's going to control how I transact with somebody, and it's going to be just a private transaction, right?
Yep.
So, but the functionality of it, and it makes so much sense with the world where we're going, right? We were talking about
we're
AI.
kind of half there with our current currency anyway.
And we really are. So now,
pretty close.
And now you have USD stable coins, which means for the listeners out there that are crypto novices, just like you were a Bourbon novice, it means it's just not a stable coin. Actually has a backing by an asset. So for a USD backed stable coin, every coin that's out there, there's an actual dollar that's backing it.
Okay.
So what's the downside?
Well, and I think that's where everybody's kind of come to, Lou.
There's obviously downside with everything, but that minimizes your risk at that point.
And now it's so now you have traceability, which is kind of the opposite of what we started with, right? So you didn't want that traceability. Right. So now you have
what made it attractive to people.
Right. So now you have a digital footprint because these platforms that are out there are being regulated. Now you have to show where the transaction is going, who's going to, and
plus they can tax it.
Well, tax it, regulate it, and a lot of these platforms, learn the hard way that even though there wasn't a Clarity Act, you should definitely abide by the SEC rules. So that's the default, even though those rules don't necessarily. It's kind of like putting a square peg in a round hole.
Yeah,
they don't fit perfectly, but it makes sense because you're still dealing with essentially securities. And securities that trade 24/7, by the way. So if you have a fix for trading, unlike the stock market,
I think that's the neatest thing about it, and that to me one of the most it blows my mind that you can trade this stock at 340, 345. 350, 355, 356. All of a sudden at 4 o'clock,
done. That's it.
Only you people can trade this stock. That are those people who have tomorrow's news today. Wasn't that in the James Bond movie where a guy's name was Carver, who wanted to control the world? He wanted to present tomorrow's news.
The after-hour traders.
The after hours, yes. So there is no after hours with crypto.
There is.
Because they're all hours.
It's not even after hours. There's no after days. It's 24/7, 7 days a week. And so that begs the question next, when does the stock market finally catch up? And why would we not in this digital world?
That's a good point. It should be 24/7.
Please, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, and any other, you need to stay ahead of it and go 24/7. There's no reason not to.
Well, there has to be a reason for somebody to not do it.
Well, on the old days, it was, you're trading on the floor. Now it's all digital.
I agree, but somebody has to, there has to be somebody putting the brakes on that, I would think. And not to sound like a conspiracy guy, but somebody's got to be putting the brakes on.
Maybe it's traditionalists, kind of like golf, right? So maybe there's, this is how we've always done it. We're not going to change, we need a break. You look at what's the benefit? Well, I think it's the free market. It's the free market that's going to flow based on any news, and news moves, 24/7 days now.
It does. It truly does.
So,
the younger generation, your kids and my nephews and your kids, Perry, they're not going to tolerate, well, you can't do this at that time. They're going to be there 24/7 with everything, and obviously financial markets.
They've grown up.
everything.
They've grown up on instant gratification.
Instant gratification.
And you have to have it. And so I would say, right now, the NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange are looking like dinosaurs, because the 9 to 4 is a dying model.
Yeah, that's true.
Interesting.
It's a good point. I never thought of
That's
that.
my op-ed.
Instead
today.
of like most people think,
I get into it.
well, I think most people think, oh well, crypto should behave like the market does as far as when you can and can't trade. But you're making the other point, which is that they should both behave like
We are
crypto.
a free capitalistic market, so let the capitalistic market trade.
Plus, there's so much-
24/7. Before, it was controlled by the people on the floor that were going back and forth, and so yes,
Right.
9 to 4 made sense, right? Because that was the
plus,
normal
I
hours.
mean, it's a worldwide market too. So.
It is a worldwide market, and all the new companies are coming out now.
Yeah.
I think because once they go across state lines, it's not even state lines; it's global. I mean, most of these companies are global these days. So
Yeah, exactly.
Let it trade.
So interesting that you said it's global. When you speak about the Clarity Act, and I'm not sure exactly how we got to crypto, other than my question about clarity,
Yeah.
is the Clarity Act something that's going to be applicable universally, since crypto is a worldwide thing and not just a United States?
It's a United
thing?
States federal regulations.
Okay, so how far does that reach?
Well,
I guess it has to reach everywhere, right?
Well, yeah, in a sense. So it depends on where you're operating. And a lot of these crypto companies have to make sure they're abiding by each and every laws. And I'll use crypto.com, and they were ahead of the game when they were, filing all the necessary filings that you would have to do if you were a stock.
Mm-hmm.
In every country they were operating. And so they would get their approvals before they would start trading. And so
Got it.
the United States is now looking to have something besides the SEC that's governing it. And like AI, there's sometimes the normal laws that are on the books, they fit, right? And with crypto, it's a little bit of a different animal. We're talking about 24/7. We're talking
Right.
about a digital coin. Sometimes there's no asset behind it,
Touch
right?
it, can't feel it.
Right. And so there needs to be protections for the consumer and for the company and for everything in between, because if it's going to be this way, there needs to be some certainty and therefore some clarity.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, and we're getting the
Getting the wrap for this.
we're getting the
segment.
stiletto.
Yeah.
It's not the Louis Vuitton.
That went
Did
really
I say that
fast.
right? Did I
No,
I missed that again.
it's Christian Louboutin.
No, so there, I'm just
Yeah.
going to let you say it from now on.
Oh, Louis stepped in.
Well, it was a little bit more inspirational having Christie's stilettos up here, but
I did get the black stiletto. I can say that. Perry was, he's very flexible. Anyways.
well, I appreciate the information on the Clarity Act and a little bit of conversation about the
we are
crypto.
segueing into the third segment.
that
and
went
when
quick.
we come back, we're going to talk about this Heaven Hill, and it's heaven.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I need another little sip.
Yeah, right.
Take a little
I
whisper.
think we all need a sip.
We'll be right back.
Cheers.
Cheers.
AI, data, privacy, cybersecurity. Across all 50 states and federal, the law changed overnight. But this morning, you're not scrambling. One coffee, one scroll. Every new development that matters, in plain English, reviewed by an attorney linked to its official government source. That's Docket Daily. The 4 pillars, every morning, one place. Start your free 2-week trial at docketdaily.ai.
And we are back in the Bourbon Studios.
I caught him off guard.
Oh, yeah. I was just kind of dazing a little bit.
Well, sometimes waiting for the on-air sign to come
Right?
on.
The on-air
Wake
sign
me
hasn't
up.
been on for the last 2 weeks.
There, we're up.
So
There it is. It does
sometimes,
work still. All right.
Sometimes, like
There
what,
it is.
What
There
most
it
people
is.
never hear.
I'm busting him, because he doesn't want to hear me talking about
What
nonsense.
people never hear on the final recording is that I usually give a 3, 2, 1 just so he knows when to say, hey, we're back. And sometimes Brad cuts me off so close to me saying 1 that there's like no space for me to do the edit. So I did a 3, 2, 1 real quick that time.
takes a very precise
I know.
cut.
Well, that does keep me on my toes.
I know. On your stiletto toes.
Well, whatever.
Harry, come on, man. You made it too easy for him.
I set myself up for that one.
Yeah.
So before we get too far into the bourbon, which is going down, the spirits are starting to go up. Let's talk about the Heaven Hill.
And by the way, we should mention we pushed back our recording day from our normal day of Wednesday to Thursday this week because of just some prior engagements. And then, so now tomorrow, like I'm off tomorrow.
Oh, I love it.
It's the holiday, right? So we get the holiday Saturday, but we get Friday off.
No, I think I think a
perfect.
lot of I think that's kind of the same situation that I'm hearing all around, right? So that's a great thing.
I think the only people working tomorrow are healthcare people.
Probably.
Yeah, and thank God they are.
Yes.
Because people will be blowing their fingers off. And all
Yeah,
that
well,
fun
yeah.
stuff on Saturday.
Hey, who needs all five?
Well, technically, you only need two. You only need to be able to go like this.
Yeah, actually, you need
I mean,
these two in the middle one.
Only
right?
if you want to do the little pinky thing. That's that's the only purpose of the pinker.
I could drink with two. I could drink with two fingers.
I don't know if you all have noticed. Some of the crowd has, our audience has called me out on this. My pinky naturally goes like that, and my uncle Alfonso Russo, when he was playing Moda back in the day, he had this pinky that you never knew which way it was going. It was going in or out, in or out. And when
I
you're
played
playing
basketball,
Moda, it's the total number of fingers that go out between the two guys. I'm thinking, my uncle Alfonso was cheating. Like he'd throw out three and say cinque, and if the other guy had one, he'd then like slide that little pinky out, and if not, he'd just slide it up. So I'm gonna lay this off on my uncle Alfonso is why when I hold a drink, my finger just it goes like that.
You're a fancy drinker.
Yeah, he's hoity-toity.
He's very polished. You know?
Sometimes
That's why we love him. Bougie, that's a good name.
He's definitely dapper. Look at him, man. He's just a sharp-looking man.
Geez, I went with the short hair. I got my hair cut short this week, and I was afraid at this point now at age 65, I'm afraid it's not going to grow back.
Well, I think they got things for that now.
Yeah.
He's got pills to make everything grow.
Right? If there was only a pill for it.
There's pills, tonics, there's everything to make your hair grow.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you. You can make it grow in all different kinds of places. So,
Alrighty
then.
Well,
we totally digressed.
Yeah, we did. So instead of talking about where hair can grow, let's talk about the Heaven's Hill.
Let's talk about how this bourbon can put hair in your chest.
I feel it.
Did the light just flash?
Maybe that's the Department of Energy doing a rolling blackouts right now.
I think the brownouts are going up. We did have just a light go out, so maybe it's either that or a spirit.
Maybe. Okay.
Or our spirits are going up.
Squirrel.
Squirrel moment.
So this Heaven Hill, we were just Brad and I were talking earlier and about what we should partake in tonight. And he's like, let's just pick something off the rack.
Yeah, we're picking it off the back.
A very nicely stocked rack back there.
I
That's a nice rack you have.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Most guys like a nicely stacked rack. Or stacked rack or stocked rack.
Stocked or stacked, either way. So he suggested, and I was like, yeah, that's good. I've had it before.
It's first time for me.
Heaven Hill. It's good. My good friend John Mock brought me a bottle. Shout out Johnny.
Yeah.
He was good. I invited him over tonight, but he's sick. So
Oh, well.
it's kind of sucks.
Hopefully he's feeling better so he can blow off a finger on.
And maybe he needs some bourbon. That'll probably make him feel
That'll
better,
help.
too.
That's bourbon is the old anesthesiology.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Did I say that right?
No.
I didn't say that right, did I?
We know what you meant. We totally know what you meant.
I completely forgot a couple syllables, didn't I?
No, you added a
I mean,
few,
Christy
actually.
K's going, maybe I added a couple.
Yeah.
We'll work on that for next week.
Yeah,
But,
right.
No,
Anyway,
I wonder how many, what the average number of hand injuries there are.
Oh, can we look that up?
4th of July. Perry, you scanned
Yeah,
it.
would you be able to scan that in and
average number of hand injuries on the 4th of July due to fireworks?
So I have a good story for you. My dad had 3.5 fingers.
3.5?
3.5 from the day one. So
From harvard.edu.
Oh, read it.
So 3.5 fingers, and it wasn't a fireworks injury. It was
What I
a
found.
back in the day when they had babies in the prenatal care. They had these Bunsen burners up. I don't know if you.
I know what a Bunsen
Yep.
burner is, yeah.
And I guess he reached outside of his crib when he was a toddler and accidentally
Uh-oh.
and singed, off this one and then half of this one.
Really?
So anytime I would tell him, give me high five, he'd be like, how about 3.5?
3.5.
Who was that, Brad?
That was my dad,
Oh, jeez.
So he definitely liked a good drink, but that pinky was not there to poke up.
Okay, so here's some statistics.
You took me right to one. I just want to know, with all due respect,
Yeah.
to may he rest in peace to your
Right.
dad. What does his bowling ball look like?
Right? Well, he didn't bowl.
3.5 fingers.
All right. So, there's only 3 holes.
Yeah, so
They were the right three.
he was good.
As long as they were the right three, you're good.
So
What do you got, Barry?
around 35% of all firework-related injuries treated in U.S. emergency rooms involve the hands and fingers, with roughly 13,000 people nationwide seeking emergency room care for fireworks injuries each year. This amounts to over 4,500 hand and
be
finger
safe.
injuries annually.
Yeah.
With the vast majority occurring during the weeks surrounding the 4th of July.
Yeah, you think? So I would say be safe. And thanks to Cardi dropping off these very big fireworks, which
Oh, yeah. We're going to
I need to go to Dr. Cook and ask him. He goes, oh, I know what those are. Those are so they are big. So I think I may need to enlist an expert to fire those off.
Well, I
I'm going to enjoy from afar. That's I don't understand pyrotechnics, and
I don't
I
know
don't
what
want
you
to,
do.
but I do like it.
I don't light them. I get a little afraid of them.
I have an
Yeah.
idea. If you're going to light them off that way,
Yeah.
I should bring my drone over.
Oh,
And put the drone up in the air and see what they look like.
we
from
should.
above.
We should do that.
That would be cool.
And I still got a collection that I bought from last year. We never fired off, so it could be a good drone show. At least a semi-good drone.
Perry, you going to have your drone following us on the golf course?
Oh,
If it's not raining, I could. It's not looking good though.
you're going to want to check out our swing from above.
I think it looks better from above.
Mine
from
probably
below.
looks better from like. Mine looks better from a mile away.
Right?
I was on a little short golf trip on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and
How'd you shoot?
Terrible.
Yeah,
And like, it was so frustrating. I mean, I had some nice shots, whatever, but
You're in West Virginia,
I
right?
had Ogle Bay and Wheeling.
You're up in the mountains there, huh?
Beautiful. It
Yeah,
is
I've been
beautiful.
past there.
Oh,
that
it-
Ogle Bay is a
gorgeous.
beautiful place.
It is a
it's
beautiful
gorgeous.
place. It's a great resort.
And the courses are awesome. The really nice courses.
Highly
I
recommend.
think those are Arnold Palmer courses.
One
if
is
I'm
a
not
Palmer
mistaken.
and one is Jones.
Okay.
Not Robert Trent Jones. It's,
Bobby Jones or Robert Trent.
Maybe it was Robert Trent.
Yeah, maybe
It's not
Robert Trent.
Bobby.
Probably the designer, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I must have left, I think on Monday, I left at least, and I am not exaggerating, 7 or 8 putts that I would consider makeable inside 6 feet short. I just kept leaving them short, and the greens were pretty quick. So I don't know, whatever. I just couldn't get it going. Although I did win a lot of greenies, and I came out ahead on the money, so that was good.
Oh,
That's a good thing.
that's
Yeah.
very good. And I saw you guys were enjoying a little horse soldier.
Had some Horse Soldier. We had some Eagle Rare. We had another one that's called, I think, Elmer T. Lee that Matt had. It's actually a Buffalo Trace product. Oh,
Yeah,
spectacular.
Elmer T. Lee kind of
Elmer T. Lee.
kind of. We're talking about the Colonels now, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so we kind
It's-
of rivals the other Colonel.
So his son, Ben, got
EH,
it.
right?
Yeah. His son got it out in Arizona. He participates in these raffles or something, and or some kind of lottery, bourbon lottery or something. But he won this bottle. And it's a little pricey, I guess, to buy it, but it's excellent.
Awesome.
So we had that. I took the chicken cock. That was popular. The cock was popular.
Did you bring the bourbon too?
Yeah, we had a little set. Yeah.
Well played.
So, and actually, the funny thing was, several of those guys were like, "Oh yeah, I've had this. This is really good." And I was like, "Yeah,
It
it's
is
not,
good.
It's not just a funny name.
No,
It
it's not
actually is
just a
very
funny
good
name.
bourbon.
It's a funny name now. It never was back in the day when it came out, like we talked about. And, it is one of the oldest stapled. In fact, before bourbon distilling became kind of mainstream, it was kind of the behind the stream.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Smitty.
of course, Jimmy.
I said, I was like,
And Jimmy's has always had a good eye for bourbon.
he does, yeah. And so we were sitting outside on Sunday night. It was really nice. Our rooms were all together, and we were on the ground floor, so we could all hang out outside on this patio and drink and smoke a cigar and shoot the shit, whatever.
Yeah.
So I said, I pulled the bottle up. I was like, "Hey, Smitty, would you like a little cock?" And he's like, don't mind if I do. Just played right along. I was like, attaboy.
Is this our IUP, Smitty?
Yeah.
He should
My
be,
man, Jimmy.
I know
Yeah.
he should be on the sidelines of an NFL somewhere. I mean, the guy's a genius.
I'm going to tell you,
Right?
we're so blessed with the coaches we have at IUP.
he is.
Across all of our sports here.
But you know what? You know what I say why he's still here is because Indiana's that good.
I agree with that.
it is, yeah.
You know, and
It's a pretty cool gig.
That's what drew me back. And when we came back from Naples, the very first person we had lunch with was you at the Latrobe Airport. You remember that?
Yes, we were Spirit, right?
Yes.
We're
No-
now
no
defunct
longer.
Spirit Airlines.
Don't fly
Rest in
Spirit
peace.
anymore. They're not going to get you up.
It was our easy escape from Western Pennsylvania in the winter to go to Latrobe
Yeah.
Airport, and there were two gates. Security was about 3 to
minutes.
4 minutes,
Yeah, it was
right?
awesome.
And they had a great D'Annunzio's restaurant there.
D'Annunzio's,
and,
I
I think
mean-
they're still trying to get some new service
They
back
are.
in.
So,
but,
you know, the gentleman that I golfed with this past week was on the Latrobe Airport board for years. And so he was kind of filling me in as to what their new plans are now that Spirit kind of dissolved away. And he's not on the board anymore, but he still has a kind of a feel
Still
for it.
close to it.
And it makes sense. You know, they put all this infrastructure into place. It's beautiful.
Oh,
it's a
it's
beautiful in
amazing.
and out, right? The runways, obviously, because of Arnold Palmer.
And they just built a whole new
terminal. So there's three
and
terminals.
the parking and everything.
Yeah, and the
right?
parking. So
Yeah.
you have
parking.
the infrastructure. So it makes sense to
Yep.
bring something in similar to what Johnstown's doing with United Express to, you know, a
And
hub.
you can fly out. People are flying out of Altoona a lot now too.
Yeah.
yeah,
You fly
Altoona. I think
direct-
Altoona gets
nonstop
you
to Chicago?
Right.
to
That's-
Altoona
or
gets you to Charlotte,
Charlotte.
and then
Johnstown.
wherever-
Johnstown, Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can get right to the two.
Those are the hubs.
To the biggest hubs.
Atlanta being another one.
The allure to Latrobe was you didn't have to go to Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
And it was free parking for the longest time. And
ever.
I think it was
Yeah,
all
if
along, right?
you left your car there for the winter while you were snowbirding,
Right.
It was free parking.
You're
so-
not paying that the mafia rates down at the Pittsburgh Airport.
That's a
Okay,
good
be
way of
careful.
putting it.
Be careful here.
Hey, so you know what?
You remember my Uncle Alfonso?
when Lou puts that pinky up, you know.
Yeah,
you're
no,
like,
the pinky's twitching.
It's okay when the pinky's. It's okay when the pinky's up. When the pinky goes down,
I know, but
Look out.
But
So
you know
we're
what?
13 minutes in, and we
Are we?
started talking about the bourbon, and we've not talked about the bourbon.
Oh, yeah, Heaven Hill.
I'm just never, I'm tirelessly impressed with how easily sidetracked.
No, we it's the ADHD.
Seriously, it's
I mean,
hilarious.
they
Hilarious.
need to make ADHD like a little more compact. I can't get through all four letters. I
love-
just don't have
I would
enough
love to get some-
attention span to do it.
I would love to get
I
some
think
listener-
everybody knows, right? We don't even have to say it anymore. Everybody knows.
I'd love to get some listener feedback and hear them. They're probably sitting there going, "Would you talk about the fucking bourbon already?"
we were just you had us with
me?
Heaven Hill.
No, you're not there.
All right, Perry, bring us back.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Now
bring
I
us
lost
back
my
to center.
train of Thought. Oh, I
Back
took
to
my
center.
glasses off too. Hold on.
I know. Look
Talk
at that
for a second, Mike.
we got his.
You want us to talk? Do you want us to just ad lib?
know,
Is
like
what
that's-
you're
No,
saying?
really
he
difficult.
look at he's putting his stilettos
I gotta
back
put my
on. He's
readers
pulling
on.
his stockings up.
Oh,
So we didn't. What I started to say was we didn't really prep much for the bourbon.
we didn't.
Because
So-
now I have had it before. I think you're new to it, right?
This is a very first time.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's a bottled and bond bourbon,
yeah.
kind of like the new riff.
So let's talk about that one more time. What is that?
So that was a government regulation put in place in, I want to say, the 1700s or
was very-
1800s.
I don't think it was late. I thought it was like late 1800s, right?
Yeah, so that was to ensure that there were certain standards that were met to be considered a bourbon.
The first bourbon regulators.
And one of the main ones that the first thing that you can always remember when you see, and this bottle says right on it, bottled in bond.
In bond,
is
yep.
you know it's 100 proof, because that means it is 100 proof if it says that.
So it's got to be that.
And it also follows all the other guidelines, but which don't really.
So let's talk about the taste. I mean, it's very tasteful.
It's very good. It's a
It's a reasonable
kind of
bottle
a
too, right?
pardon.
It's a reasonable bottle.
I think
too.
it's like $30.
Yeah, so it's not
It's not even-
an overly priced bottle. I mean, this is something you can hopefully get off the shelf, and
Yeah.
you know, you have all these features. But let's talk about the taste, because I mean, it has a very unique bourbon taste to it.
It does. It's kind of a classic bourbon taste. It has kind of all the normal. It does not have the cinnamon so much, Louis, but it's got the vanillas. It's got the caramels.
right.
The oak. You know, and like this is the kind of bourbon I would put in my decanter. Is it called a decanter? What's that called?
It's decanter, yeah. You
Yeah.
put it in the horse decanter, or you just put it in the big stiletto?
Well, it's
Canter.
actually a golf club. But
Oh.
that my stepdaughter got me. It's,
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Does it have 2 balls on the bottom and a stick on the top?
There's a ball stuck to the face of the club, and there's 4 balls for the shot glasses.
That boy.
But anyway, that it's just like this is the perfect kind of bourbon to just you want to go home and you just want to have a drink or two, unwind or whatever.
Yes.
This would be perfect for that because it's not that expensive.
Not that expensive.
It's nothing that you're going to feel like, geez, I should probably invite one of my friends over and have it. No offense to the Heaven Hill, it's good. It's easy to get.
It's kind of bourbon you want to.
inexpensive.
What Perry's saying,
Daily
it's kind of bourbon you just want to drink alone.
Well, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
I'm actually, this is, I find this to be a unique, you know how in each week I tell you about my visual. When I come in, when I see the bottle, I'm predisposed to what I think.
This one's not very stealth.
The bottle doesn't do anything for me, but the taste. Actually, on the backside, I'm very good with this. No, there's no burn for me.
So talk about
I
the
think
tickler.
I think this is pretty good for $30 a bottle. What tickler?
So the what was that? Oh, so I was doing a little bit of reading just to see if our assessment was, somewhere even remotely on track, being that we're not all bourbon experts, but
We're no bourbon experts. We're just guys that are just trying bourbon.
We're bourbon consumers.
On the tasting notes, one of the things it says is perfectly balanced by toasted oak, baking spices, and a signature rye tickle. I'm not
Tickler.
sure exactly what that means.
I think that's a tickler.
I don't even know her.
but
It's just my.
but it does kind
Hey, you get a little extra for your
it
$30.
reminds me of a little bit of a rye. It's definitely got a flavorful
does?
mash bill to it.
And,
I love
and
that.
you talked about the baking spices. It kind of has that.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good with this at the price range.
No, I am too. This is one you want to have on your shelf.
Again, I like the taste. My personal taste. I have friends that are more about the oak. They like the double oaked and all that, and that's fine. But I like the taste.
These are
of
the
grains.
these are the pinky ticklers.
They're yeah, the French tickler. I like the taste. I like
Get the pinky up or the pinky down.
I personally like to taste that because the grain bill gives it some sweetness, and I like that. Yeah, I like that sweet.
So you told me you played one of your rounds in your stilettos and stockings. So how did that go?
Well, I only wore the stiletto on one foot.
Oh,
Just to make a challenge.
well, you're irritating the
Well,
greens.
if I rotate too hard with my left foot, it'll break the heel off. I don't want to do that.
So Perry, you were at a competitive event or a charity event or
just 8 guys. It was 8 of us total.
some of the funnest, right?
there's no question.
just for fun. And,
Yeah.
But then, do you know? I don't know if I should say his name.
You don't have to say his name, but yeah,
First
He's a
name.
friend, and Ray.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a teacher in West Shamokin. Anyway, he set up the games, and it was like this pairing and this pairing against this one and this one, and then you had greenies, and you could win this. And it was like
I like it.
$60 buy-in. So I think I came out. I was probably close to $100 with the greenie.
Look at you go.
Yeah, plus my foursome won the first.
Should give it all back for all those 3 putts.
I should. Like I didn't help much on
you,
it.
you know, it's,
But I did. But I birdied a par 3.
Attaboy.
I stuck it like 4 feet from the pin, and I made that putt.
hey, if we're morphing to golf for cash,
Yeah, right.
Last week I got to meet your buddy Chris King from Robert Morris, ex of Robert Morris,
Robert Morris,
and
a 2-time national
sure.
AD,
AD
of the year.
right? And we were talking about golf and whatnot. I think the 3 of us should get Chris and have him call out his buddy Pomp and some of the guys from 93.7
well, Pomp's
and do
close.
a head-to-head
Pomp's,
4-man scramble for charity.
Cephas and Pomp's going to be on the podcast.
Is he?
Yeah. So we've already
Tuesday
established.
has a free day.
Well, it does. So
Finally, we get another Italian.
no, it's great. So I golfed with him earlier this year, and it was awesome. He had hosted me down at his course, and he said, "I'm definitely coming on. I'm coming to the studio." He's going to play Indiana with us.
I was going to say we're
sure.
going to play golf up here.
yeah, and Pomp's.
I
a
really
great-
want to be. I'd love to be
No,
in that group.
no, right. He's a great golfer. Almost had a hole in one when I was with him.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a great human being.
No, he's a great human being.
He seems to be everywhere in Pittsburgh. No matter what radio station you turn on, He's everywhere.
I know.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
him and Starkey in the morning, right?
Oh,
So, and I got to golf with Joe and him last year at Oakmont the week before. That was my last round before my surgeries.
is that right?
I could only do 11 holes with those guys, but I was kind of like the MC for them because I was like, I'm just gonna you guys play. I will talk.
We're talking, you're talking about our coach, Joe?
No, I'm talking about Joe Starkey. And, it was Starkey and Pomp.
okay.
In the morning, that's their radio show. So
Okay.
that's where that's what's amazing about Pomps is he gets up, he does the radio show with Starkey, then he does the news. And he does the evening news. I mean, the guy never stops.
That's what I'm saying.
And if
Guys,
there's some sporting event going on, he's there
and,
too.
and I told him several times. I said, Bob, I remember when I hit 4 threes in the semi-finals. I'm going back now to 1993. You were
was he on the mic?
yeah.
Was he really?
That 11 o'clock news that was or 11:30, sports news when it was him. I said, and I can in his voice, it just
He's got a voice, doesn't he?
It is, So we're
make
definitely
us-
gonna have him on.
You make us all sound like a bunch of idiots.
No, he does.
Not
he's
that we
so
can't
smooth.
do that ourselves.
He's so smooth.
He is smooth.
That's okay. I'm
honestly,
still challenging that foursome against our foursome in a 4-man scramble for charity at the course of their choice.
Well-
I think we can take him
well,
down.
and I know the charity because Pomps has a charity that he's been supporting for 35 years, and it's a great charity, and that's what we'll be donating
Sure.
to.
No doubt.
And I'll let him tell our listeners all about it. I donated a week of book sales last year to it.
I remember that.
Yeah, and that's how we kind of
Very
became
cool.
close,
Well, I think I joke about this golf thing and competitive. It's what we do. If we can raise money for some charity, no matter what it is,
Right.
then let's go at it. We'll have some fun, share some bourbon, share some time, and
You'll see.
raise some money and help some people out.
You'll see how much fun we have golfing at the end of this episode.
Well, you will. Yeah, but when you get into fifth segment,
They might be offended,
If we would only been mic'd up the day when we were on 17, and you made that cross putt,
Yeah.
and we were in our lubricity zone there.
we were Optimum Loubricity, no doubt.
we were just. We had a group waiting on us, but we were still him-hawing back and forth, and the banter didn't stop, did it?
It never does, right? It's all. There comes a point in life when all you have is banter with the fellas,
Right.
And
But that's
generally happens on the golf course, right?
Well, it happens more often than not in the golf course or over a bourbon at the bar, and so, but it's special when it's your buddies.
Oh, come on, you know
Right?
how it is, yeah.
So
Yeah, if you have to stuff it up somebody,
Actually,
you want to do it to your buddies.
I keep thinking back to, fun, crazy moments on the golf course. I can
Yeah.
think of a couple that were caught on video that you were part of, Brad.
well, we could also clip a couple of those in there too. There was
That might
that
not
time.
be a bad idea.
There was. I know.
Great story.
Are we at the end of the episode?
We are at about 24 minutes.
All right. So when we come back, we'll talk about a couple of those
Yeah, that was hilarious.
moments caught on camera.
Golf course moments.
Those golf course moments that are special,
Yeah,
right?
those were very indicative of lubricity at pretty much at a peak level.
At a peak level,
Just about to fall off the cliff.
just about to fall off from the cliff, asshole, or into the deep end.
Can I tell you? It was interesting today at the pharmacy that I was working at today. We talked about where you going. I said, I'm this weekend. I just don't want to go to Assholeville.
They're like, where's that?
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Town of one,
the
population visited by many.
Yeah.
the woman I was telling it, as soon as I said, she says, I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to go there either.
Yeah,
so
I-
she gets it. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So
It's funny because Assholeville is kind of like that Jim Carrey movie. Everybody's watching it as you're the only person that's in that town.
That's
Yeah.
Truman Show?
Yeah, the Truman Show, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I feel like Assholeville is. It's like you're on camera, everybody's looking at you, and you're just in this town
well, at
of
least
one.
you think everybody's looking at you.
That's
right?
the paranoia. So
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
think, but if you hit Assholeville, everybody's definitely looking
No doubt.
So let's take a break and get ourselves closer to asshole.
You're right. We'll be right back.
AI, data, privacy, cybersecurity. Across all 50 states and federal, the law changed overnight. But this morning, You're not scrambling. One coffee, one scroll. Every new development that matters, in plain English, reviewed by an attorney linked to its official government source. That's Docket Daily. The 4 pillars, every morning, one place. Start your free 2-week trial at docketdaily.ai.
And we are back. And we have been talking off air basketball memories. Oh, that's a whole nother segment. You know, nobody.
Actually, that doesn't need to be a segment.
Well, nobody. Well, maybe, but you know, that was another life ago, right? And basketball and bourbon go well together. Not
Well,
in high
they do.
Well, not in high school, but
Not
they
in
do.
high school.
But they do.
Maybe for spectators.
They do down in memory lane though.
They surely do.
So when you're talking about the days, when you're playing basketball, and if you're the guy bringing the ball to the court, then you know at least you're going to get.
That's
in.
how I got to play because I was undersized and nobody knew me. I was a little kid
Right.
from Clymer, but
You're like,
I had
"Hey,
a
I
nice
got a
leather
ball."
basketball, right? As long as you had a leather basketball back then, you got to play. When I
That was big.
Hey, so we haven't talked, at least since I got here a little bit late, we haven't talked much about FIFA and the World Cup.
Oh, so, I'm in New York last night, and I'm staying at this hotel, and I'm telling you, the whole schedule. Up on they had a billboard in the lobby as to exactly every game that they're filming or showing, right, from FIFA.
Really?
So, and everybody in the lobby, nobody spoke English. Everybody was from a different country. I'm guessing.
That's New York.
Well, probably, but I kind of sensed it was more because of FIFA, right? So,
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
and they were there for the soccer, and it was just kind of cool to be a part of that. Other than the couple that was climbing
The tower. Yeah, I get that was a gig, but that pissed me off yesterday because of how much it probably cost in security and
well, like
people
I said,
risking their
when I
life
rolled in,
and
there
all
was
that.
2 helicopters flying around.
Yeah.
You have,
Yeah, they should charge that back to Netflix. I think that was a little bit of bullshit that they it appeared to. And I say
you think
this
it's a stunt?
It appeared to me to be a stunt.
Yeah,
that
'cause
just
it's
so
not the
happened
first
to
time I heard that
romance.
they've done this.
Yeah, come on. The cost that involved and the risk of human lives for this prank just
here's
kind of
the-
pissed me off a little
So
bit.
here's the
yesterday.
question. I mean, if you decide to, it's one thing to be kind of caught off guard,
Mm-hmm.
but if you decide to go up on the top of the Empire State Building, should any protection be around you at that point?
I guess it comes down to what do we need by protection?
Well, I mean, do we
you want,
put resources, that are now concentrating on this couple because they decide they want to make a viral
I don't
video?
want to sound cruel, but Jesus, man, you got yourself in, get yourself out.
Well, that's kind of my point. So
Jump.
I don't know this.
just
Did they
climb
have-
back down. That'll be fine.
I gotta believe they had parachutes on.
No, they had nothing on.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, you look at their backs. They're hanging on. There's no wires. I was kind of looking at it last night, going, "There's no wires." And in fact, at first I thought it was 2 males, but then I learned it was a couple that's been doing it, and he proposed to her.
Yeah,
So they've done this before elsewhere?
I guess
apparently so.
Apparently, I guess they're. Well, trust me, you're not going to do your first time on the Empire State Building. Empire State.
Well, it's straight up.
Straight up. It is straight, but
Hey,
I'm in the 4th segment.
how's that bourbon looking over
and
there?
this Heaven Hill.
The bourbonometer?
This is hitting me. And maybe it's the 10 and a half hours I spent coming back from the hot city of New York.
We're gonna lay it off on lack of sleep.
Oh,
So as far as FIFA goes, not to change the subject,
But
that's what
yes,
I'm going to do.
so we got to
Yeah, let's
FIFA,
get back to
and
FIFA.
I'm sitting in the lobby, and I'm telling you, there was so to get your valet, and you definitely want a valet because I'm not going to fight the parking. That you might as well just have me climb on the Empire State Building. Right? Do that. So
Here's a great spot.
I know, right? So, I get down there. I'm thinking, it's kind of like Pittsburgh. Maybe it'll be 10, 15 minutes. Sorry, it may be an hour. I'm like, okay. So get my laptop.
For valet?
I put a good hour of work in the lobby. I have my coffee.
To get your car.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's it's New York. It's a high demand area. So.
Hey, so here's a trivia question.
But
oh, go ahead.
No, but I'll just finish the thought, and then I want to hear this trivia question because I was watching the kind of the rolling, in and outs, and I don't think, but maybe 10% spoke English.
So this ties in with that.
And I think, and it was definitely FIFA because but the hotel that I was staying at was hosting these big screen watch parties.
Oh, the economics. I can't imagine the economic impact that this has had for vendors and the hospitality
Did you hear
industry.
the Irish fans drank Boston out of beer?
I did hear
How
that.
could-
Somebody
how could
drank
that
them out.
happen?
And then FIFA happened.
I thought that was Cardi.
Yeah, right.
I thought Cardi made a trip up there for the weekend.
I mean, that's insane.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I've been to
So,
Boston. There's a lot of beer involved.
I've never been to Boston,
Have you seen the?
great city.
but
the
I do
team
know
from,
do know Brad Delp and the band named Boston.
yeah, oh, yeah.
One of the greatest.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one or two of their songs and
One or two.
that they're one of their album covers. But to FIFA, I don't want to get too far. Have you seen the rowing thing? That is it. The Norwegian team, they get in bars and like they're rowing a boat.
No.
I'm almost certain it's the Norwegian team.
The soccer team?
Yeah, are
That's
they
how they
still in
the
it?
fans. You mean the fans?
The fans, yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say-
Actually, the team did it after the game. I saw at one airport where they landed, the airport police actually did it on the tarmac. I'm almost certain, Perry, it's the Norwegian team that's become their go-to.
So like the Vikings or...
It was like the Vikings rowing the boats.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
So,
Seems like a lot of extra energy they should be focusing on the field.
well, actually, I'm guessing most of their energy was probably focused on the bourbon, right?
So you may or may not know...
We're talking about the fans, not the team, right?
Yeah, the
Yes.
fans. So we may or may not know how many teams there are, but I was curious when you said, Brad, that they had a board in the hotel that was listing all the games that were televised.
And this was a very. I looked up at first. I'm going, what is that farm to table board? And well, that's the restaurant behind us, and it was very professional. A lot of thought went into it. You can see it, And
So do you know how many matches, called matches, are played total for the World Cup?
well, I know there was 2 columns, probably 30 games each column.
104 matches.
Well, there was a lot. Yeah.
So far, or in total till the end?
That will be the total, but
Yeah.
based on the number of teams and how many rounds they play, they're all guaranteed 3 games.
So I'm guessing that the board that they created was the initial ones they could,
Probably.
And so we're
And
down
they're
to
not all-
16 teams,
they're
right?
not
they
all
are
in the
in
United States.
By the way,
72.
let's talk about the real team that's still here, right? We could talk about all the teams that don't know how to row, and
Well, so not all the games before we get to that, not all the games are in the U.S., it's in North America. 78 matches are in the United States, 13 in Mexico, and 13 in Canada.
Didn't know that.
nobody's
I
watching.
just assumed everything was here.
Nobody's watching those 2.
Not on our TV. Anyway, that's all I got on FIFA. I'm not. We watched a little bit from the bar the other night down at Ogle Bay. We were sitting there having dinner, and they had it on, and it was exciting. It was Paraguay and Germany, and Germany was the heavy favorite, and Paraguay won.
Well,
Yeah, I understood. I saw that Germany was one of the top, one of the favorites to actually
are.
win the whole the
were.
FIFA Cup.
Yeah.
And they are knocked out.
they're knocked out. So
this was the knockout game.
Yeah.
and we're into the knockout games, and the U.S. made it from the 32 to
to 16.
16 last night with a 2-0
Yeah.
win. I watched that right with the folks
in New York. So
Times Square.
Does the United States really have a prayer? Of
Well,
winning this? I mean, I guess you never. Really
What I was
know.
hearing from the folks that know soccer, they may move on based on their schedule, at least another round or 2.
So is it
exciting.
single elimination now, or is it double
No,
elimination?
it's
I think
knockout-
it's single.
It's single. It's not.
So we got 16. So that means there's
Yeah.
got to be 15 losers that happen, right?
right.
From here on. Yeah.
From here on.
out. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, if we get to the top 8, I guess that's good, right?
Probably
you have to
do
win
pretty
one
good.
game. We play Belgium right now, I believe.
Is that who we're
This
up
coming
against
Monday,
next?
I think we
Okay.
play Belgium.
Well, And we'll report back to you on our next one how that goes. And I'm sure you guys already know by the time we get there.
Yes, by the time
It'll
we
be
put
old
it in, that'll
news.
be history.
But nevertheless, if we're still moving on, we're going to keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
we
thing.
should. It's
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah. I mean, if I'm not a huge soccer fan, but I mean, if the U.S. team keeps winning, I mean, that's it's good.
Why not?
It's good for
No
us.
doubt.
It's good for the
No
sport
doubt.
here.
You know, it's a competitive sport. Soccer's the MLS in America is growing quickly. You know,
It's grown tremendously.
yeah, and it's now catching up with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
I would call it. You know?
Agreed.
So
It's huge in Europe.
it is. It's
Always has
I
been.
would say soccer is probably if you had to pick one sport that's kind of like global.
Oh, that would have to be it.
I would think that would be it, right?
That would be the biggest globally recognized professional sport. Yeah, I'd say
It's kind of like
I think I followed by baseball, maybe.
yeah,
maybe. I mean, here in the States, it's probably football.
Oh, there's no question.
Well,
Football, our version
our
of football.
football.
Yeah, so that's
is the king here.
as an attorney, that's where the IP rights come in. So who's got the right to football?
Is that FOOT or FUTBO?
Yeah.
Football.
I mean,
or
I think that's
football.
why we kind of reframed it to soccer, right? So there's no confusion that
Yeah.
there's two different games.
Listen to you. You can't. You're 24/7 an attorney. He's always thinking
Oh, yeah.
intellectual rights.
That's why I
my
say
man.
you can take the man out of law school, but you can't take the law school.
That's
out.
right. He
If you
wrote
go-
the book.
But if you go to law school, they reprogram you. I mean, that's what they do. They break you down and they change the way you think.
Yeah.
I've observed that from people that the lawyers I know, they do think differently than your average bourbon drinker.
Everything's critical, or it's like kind of like your average bourbon drinker, where you're debating everything. So
Right.
they do kind of and kudos to every one of my professors because they broke me down perfectly, and it was a process and kind of going through it was a little painful, but then when you look back from a drone kind of level, you're like wow, they taught me to be a critical thinker. Think independently, and look at both sides of everything.
You know, it's interesting. You and I were talking off camera a little bit before when I asked you about how many new AI rules and laws have come down. There's 3,000. And I think we forget.
Well, that's just since January 1st.
Just since January.
Yeah.
I think we forget that the people that we elect, we call them politicians, right? These are the people that are supposed to make the laws.
Well, they are the guardians of the law, so they're
the guardians of the laws.
and that's how I would probably appropriately put them because there are some very smart politicians that know what they're doing and they're going to lead the charge. And I've noticed that with a lot of the bills that are coming through in the proposed legislation. That is the
We're
heaven.
almost there,
That is
folks.
the heaven hill I'm talking.
I think Brad needs a nap.
I do need a nap. It's
been a long couple of days for you.
It's been a couple of days, but what I'll say is this: the politicians do have great folks that are providing expertise to them. You know, whether it's through the lobbyists, whether it's through the interest groups, the stakeholders, all of them, and they're listening, and that's where our politicians know how to be a great politician is to know where to listen and where the best interest for the American people, at least in my opinion. And I'm not saying they're all the best.
right.
I mean, we can argue about that in another episode, but I'm watching how the evolution of the AI laws, and we talk about the 3,000
Right.
legal developments. And when I say legal developments, a vast majority of that are proposed laws.
I see. I didn't even think about proposed law versus an actual law.
So that's a very big distinction. So
Sure it is.
But what the proposed laws show you is what is the temperature, what is the barometer, right? Kind of like the Bourbon-ometer. You know,
He got it, Perry. He got it right that time.
Actually, I'm pretty impressed with how he said that.
well, thank you. That's 4 in a row.
It is.
Well,
if
maybe
anybody's
three.
counting. If
Maybe
anybody's
three.
counting.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I think to know what's coming down the pipeline and what's being done, and a lot of this gets repeated. So, next session, they learn what didn't work, so they tweak it, and to see that. So, even though that's not really technically a legal development, it is still part of the process. And that's one of the things that we report on because I think as an attorney or who were, whether you're in an agency in the government or whether you're an in-house counsel, whether you're working for a firm, you want to know what that barometer is and where things are developing.
Killed it. Barometer. You said it perfectly.
That's because he wasn't saying bourbonometer. He was saying barometer.
That was just a 2 clap.
Actually, it's 4. Barometer.
Just make sure you don't ever get 1 clap.
Right.
Or the clap.
Yeah. Or the clap.
Do they still call it
I
that?
don't know. Is that even a thing?
I bet there's not any of our listeners. If there are anybody under 40 that knows what we just said, you need to. How does somebody get in touch with us? You got to let us know.
Give him Brad's phone number.
Yeah.
Send him a text.
Send us your bourbon recommendations. Or when you have the clap to the last.
Take your pick. It has to be one or the other.
We want to hear from every one of you.
Yeah, let's say when you last clapped.
Yeah.
Anyways, my clap is not what I'm talking about right now. It's just me trying to get through the bourbonometer. And I think that was pretty good, right?
That was pretty
good.
Yeah.
It wasn't maybe perfect, but it was good for us.
You know what? Here's what we're going to do. As soon as this goes live, we're going to call Christy and say, "Hey, Christy, did he get it right? How many times in a row did he get it right?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're actually watching it instead of living it. Yeah. He probably needs some linguistics.
Very well done.
I had to pause there because
Yeah,
I thought you were going to add.
that was a 1, 2.
He was looking at us like, is that the end of the word? Or is there
that
an
the end of the
ism on the end or
word?
something?
Is that just me just kind of mumbling?
No, you nailed it.
We're going to have to
Mitch
figure
nailed
out.
it.
We're going to have to figure out how to do the Zoom call thing on the video. And,
No, that's our next
on again.
Well, we did figure out the karaoke. We did figure out
We had
the golf.
a couple of successes.
Our success stories are starting. So
Sure.
so now we're going to figure out the Zoom.
Yeah,
And we're going to have some live call-ins.
Oh, we are.
Yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
I've been putting off. And by the way, everybody that's reaching out, and I think I've told you guys, I probably get 10 or 12 a day of requests and great pitches. By the way, I'm not ignoring you. We just don't have the capability yet that we know of.
No, it's there.
It's there. So we will start filtering through. Don't ignore us. Keep coming to us with your pitches as to who wants to be on, because we want to bring the most interesting folks, whether they're in the AI world, the bourbon world, or business and lifestyle world, right? I like how Christy kind of put that, because we do, that's kind of how we morph into our third and fourth.
I think
it's our lifestyle, right?
Yeah, we're third and fourth is 1 and 2 is generally technology,
And fifth is just
and
a shit
intellect.
show. It is literally just a shit show.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be the case this week for sure.
And if you're a fifth, I can't even say fifth. It's been a long
Fifth segment watcher.
Long 2 days.
2 days. If you're a fifth segment listener that's loyal, God damn it, you're fucking corrupt.
We love you. No, those are our people.
And I want to hear from you. Those are the ones that I want to hear from.
Those are our people right
Those
there.
are our people.
Yeah.
They're like, get through the first segment. That's
They're like
such
the ones
boring
that
shit.
I want to see the statistics of how many people skip through the first 4 to get to the fifth.
I know.
That would be interesting data to look at.
It would be, wouldn't
No,
it?
I was leaving my meeting on last night, and I can't say much more other than this. So we were talking about the podcast, and they're like, and the one gentleman said, "I'm going to listen." I said, "Yeah." And by the way, we're the only explicit tech podcast. He goes, "Oh, I'm definitely listening now."
Yeah, I think a lot of the tech podcasts probably, I mean, no offense, but they probably tend to be a little stuffy.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. Like,
Well, so I was-
That was delicate.
They probably do take themselves really seriously,
Real serious.
and we don't
We do not take ourselves seriously.
at all.
No.
And I'm sure that comes across.
I hope it does. Otherwise, we
Perry,
have failed.
we are number one in lighthearted banter.
There's a reason for that.
And don't take yourselves too seriously.
Yeah, I mean, nobody should.
No,
Life's
I
too
agree.
short.
Yeah, and that's the lesson to be learned from a bourbon. And we were talking too much. We need to drink more bourbon.
You know who I think, we were talking about it before. You know who I think would be a neat guest for us to have?
Ooh,
John Daly.
ooh, I agree.
Oh, Can
Our
you imagine?
buddies were, and his part of his team, his business team, were with him at a local club here over the last couple of days. I think it would be awesome
Well,
to have John Daly on.
And John's not a bourbon guy. I think he has his own daily.
He probably does.
His own like vodka.
It's like I think it's like a White Claw or type of thing or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. Although you wouldn't. Well, never mind. Yeah.
yeah,
I think that's what it is.
But I think we can promote that on our bourbon podcast.
Sure.
I mean, it's not.
I'll drink
technically
it.
bourbon, but I would say John's probably not adverse to having bourbon.
No, I'd like to put him in the middle. I think we just put him in the middle, let him go.
Would he not be perfect in the middle?
Oh, that would be.
No, so I
killer,
think
yeah.
he came up with a quote last week that said, "I don't fart anymore. I just shit my pants."
I'm not going to throw stones.
Do you remember years ago when he quit smoking and drinking and gambling and he quit all his vices to try to be more serious about golf, and then this news story started breaking that he was back in the casino and he goes, yeah, I tried quitting cigarettes and drinking because my life was too miserable without it, so I started back up. That's a classic quote.
No, it's a
Sure,
classic quote.
sure.
So, it's ironic about John and I is, we both have a son in college, and his son's just a little bit older, but
Oh, does he really?
Yeah, his son is a big time golfer.
I mean, a stud, right?
Yeah, he
that right?
is.
Played for Arkansas,
Yes, he did.
alma mater. He's won
wow.
a few big time junior,
Yeah, the kid can play.
and I think he was on a couple PGA kind of like
He
taste.
might have got the sponsors invite
right?
type things. Yeah.
So what I respected about John was that it's Hooters. That's who your sponsor is.
Back in the day.
They had a lot
Back
of money
in the day,
at
that
one
was
point.
like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We actually, I'm going to go back 25 years. He used to travel with an agent whose last name, I will just tell you, his first name was Buddy. And Buddy was friends with a friend of ours in Pittsburgh named Joe. And Joe would bring, Joe played golf at the University of Miami back in I'm going to say the 80s. And John used to come into Pittsburgh and we used to hang out back when our buddy Rudd had the restaurants from the Big Burrito Group down there.
Oh,
in
he
the city.
did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're 30 years past that 25, 30 years.
But now let me just take you back to your college years, right? So can you imagine now being at, you were at IEP. So
I was.
So can you now be sponsored by Hooters? So every time you
Boy,
you
that'd be
kicked
a
a
challenge
field
for me.
goal or you did a press conference, you had a couple Hooters girls that were next to you.
Oh, that reminds me of playing in the IUP basketball outing on the 17th tee box with you and Mr. Bad.
We have a little bit of fun on the 17th. It's the Crown Royal hole.
Yeah.
And it's
we
also
have a little
the
bit of fun
Halushki
with
hole.
the Halushki hole. It started out as the all the Polish food and
The food's awesome.
yeah, we've morphed into a number of different iterations of the Crown Royal hole, but
We also had the
we had a
dunk
lot
tank
of
for a
fun. We
while.
had a dunk tank on a golf
Said he almost
hole.
died.
Said he almost died. A lot of action. It's a fun gig. We raised a couple $1,000s just on that hole.
You do.
So
And
having
what's
fun.
amazing is you talk about being a bourbon novice, but you can do how many shots of Crown?
No, I can't anymore. At one
But
point,
no,
I
but
used to
you-
do a
you-
shot of
you
Crown
would
with
try,
every
right?
group. I used to do a shot of Crown with every group that came through, and
Almost like Mario. Oh, right.
it was I crossed over to Assholeville a couple of times.
Well, man, I'm sad I missed that.
Yeah, we should.
I don't think I've ever seen Lou in
I've
Hasselville.
never seen Lou in Hasselville.
Lou's
Really?
he's always so polite.
Oh, he's always so dapper and polished.
Dapper, polite, polished. Wow. Wait till my sisters hear this. They're not going to believe it.
They're gonna be like, they can't
you
be talking
really
about the
come a
same Lou.
You all grown up.
Finally, after 65 years,
It happened. It was bound to happen sooner or later, Lou.
our big brother finally grew up.
I feel like it's that I don't know if you watched that movie with shit. I'm in the fourth segment. There's no way I'm going to recall the actors' names now. Vince Vaughn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He goes, "Oh, baby's all grown up."
Oh, what was that from?
Oh, it was Swingers. Oh, there it is. Look, it came right out.
Oh, I don't think. I've
Oh,
ever
it's a
seen that.
great movie. If you
I don't know
guys,
if I've ever seen that.
oh, it's one of Vince Vaughn's early movies with John
Favreau.
Favreau.
Yeah.
So
Don't know
which-
him.
No, he's one of the biggest.
Oh yeah, he
producers
was
now.
he was a regular on Friends for a long
Yeah.
time.
So
now he's a producer.
So
and-
this is very young Vince Vaughn. You would love this because like, go home and watch this tonight.
Go home and watch. I get home. By the time I get home, this boy is in bed.
Me too.
Man,
That's usually what I put on is to watch to go to sleep.
I take my Metamucil and go to sleep.
Well, you take your Metamucil, put your diaper on. We'll get this.
Cheers. All you young people.
I know, right?
We'll see you in the fifth segment.
Yeah, we'll see you in the fifth.
AI, data, privacy, cybersecurity. Across all 50 states and federal, the law changed overnight. But this morning, you're not scrambling. One coffee, one scroll. Every new development that matters, in plain English, reviewed by an attorney linked to its official government source. That's Docket Daily. The 4 pillars, every morning, one place. Start your free 2-week trial at docketdaily.ai.
And we are back.
We are.
Just
We are
like that.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we go on to the
Actually,
golf
we never
course.
really went anywhere.
We never went.
It just seems like it to me.
Does. You know, so we
We'll see a nice
we-
blue cloud.
there's a little blue cloud here. It's
These guys are into some awesome cigars.
There might be a little noise, a little more noise than normal because there's a
Gus, like-
fan right over my
Also,
head.
He's underneath our feet right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
This is nice.
this is a nice cigar. So, and acid.
Yeah, the
I
Cuban
mean,
Cubans,
I know they're not the fancy cigars, but
they're so good.
they're definitely not the Swisher Sweet. So they dip their cigars in red wine.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I can't smoke a cigar, but I do like the smell.
So
of it.
Brad got me started on these.
It
years
takes
ago.
the edge off. It's so if you ever like to smoke cigars and you wake up the next morning and you have this, oh, I felt like it
Your
just
mouth
like
tastes like an ash.
yeah, it's so dry. My throat hurts. I never have that with
yeah.
this, and it's
Agreed.
such a good tasting cigar.
and for
they're
the
delicious.
people around you, it actually smells good.
It
too.
smells good, right?
Yeah. It
and,
does.
it
Not to
holds.
sound like really weird, but I like to kind of suck on it before I light it.
Well, that doesn't sound.
I don't know
weird.
how you can say that without sounding weird.
I know that's why
You
I'm
were talking
laughing.
about that earlier too.
Yeah.
I like to roll it around in my
It is
mouth a
impossible to
little
say
bit.
that.
Yeah, right.
Spin it in my mouth.
So,
a little
anyways,
bit.
for the listeners out there that want to catch us, the remainder of our fifth segment, Perry's going to be on the golf course swinging in his stilettos, in his bunny outfit. You got to catch
Oh
it.
man,
I mean,
it's
he
got
is-
to be red, white, and blue.
Well, it's definitely a blue outfit. So he's flying the colors.
Yeah. So any video that shows up in that regard is probably AI generated.
No. Those are all real videos, and we still haven't released your commercial yet.
Well, we still can't get through the security.
Well, we understand that. So now we have to go to Plan B.
Actually,
And
that's an untapped gold mine. I think
it is.
What? Your legs?
OnlyFans.
No, it is-
OnlyFans is.
I mean,
don't think
there's a freak for everything.
Oh, there's no
No,
question.
but there's other options. So YouTube has a subscription level that we now qualify for because we have so many subscribers,
YouTube has, that,
and
that
also
kind of
Facebook
content.
has a subscriber level. So we're going to bring your legs and your transitions to
Help
everybody.
me, Lou. Help me, Louie.
No,
and your shout outs. So
I'm
and that's
trying
more
to-
importantly. So if you have a buddy out there that you need the one and only Playboy Bunny production manager that can in stilettos, size 13 stilettos, fishnet stockings. He makes the Christmas Story lamp look silly. In fact, that's not the Christmas Story lamp right behind you, as we've taken that picture before.
Yeah, that's true.
That is your.
Hey Perry, you created this monster. I think you got to go with it. I agree with you. It could be a serious revenue
be.
cow for you guys.
I'm all into the whole OnlyFans thing. I'm not into wearing that to the golf on Saturday though.
Now that-
I don't think your wife would appreciate.
Is that
very much.
appropriate golf attire?
As long as it has a button-up collar.
There's only one place that attire is appropriate, and that's on one of the
19th hole.
pages. No, it's got to be off
13?
something obscure. And
It's going to be the 13th.
13 and a half.
The 13 and a half hole. Yeah. Because do
Maybe-
you know where that is?
We know exactly where that is. We're sitting.
We're
sitting-
sure we're sitting in it right now.
We're in the 13th and a half hole.
That's where this all started. Kind of.
So should we call this the 13.5?
Well, that's the debate, right? So, Bob
13.5 segment.
Yeah, so this is the 13th and a half. It's not the 19th hole, so that's usually the drinking hole that you want to talk about. So we're right at the 150 mark on the 13th hole. So the debate has been, and I want to hear from everybody out there that has any input on this, because Bob Marcus was so generous to get me a rock that says the Martineau's 13th and a half hole. So
I saw that.
Yeah, so when you come down, and you come down through the back door, which is our bourbon entrance now, it's the 13th and a half hole. I'm not changing, but Mike Donnelly said it's technically the 12 and a half hole.
The linguistics, semantics, whatever you want to call it. It's halfway through the 13th hole.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to call it, so he's suggesting we should call it 0.513.
He's saying 12 and a half.
Well, I see why.
I'd say, I
Because
guess
you're
I can
finishing
see
at
that.
13th
Technically,
hole
if you're
down
going
on
from
the
a
green.
mathematical standpoint, but 13 and a half is kind of what we're saying is you're at the halfway mark on the 13th hole.
But here's the-
You're not the 13th and a half.
But here's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And we just talked about this, these other guys and I that I was golfing with a couple days ago. Golf should be 14 holes. And,
there's no
I said to Matt, I was
doubt.
like, or 13.
Or 13 and a half.
I was like, that's usually where my game goes to shit.
Yeah, right. Or that's just where you just want to end it.
So, yeah. So, anyway,
I mean,
this is the
kudos to
appropriate length.
Kudos to the Scots that could drink 18 shots and play 18 holes. And there's some days I want to do that. But most days I just want to play a little bit more than 9.
There's some days that my game makes me
Not
wish
quite
I was
18.
drinking 18 shots.
Because usually in the last 3 or 4 holes, I'm like, oh, God, it's almost over.
Okay, so Tuesday.
Yeah, I've got to that point where there's times in golf I'm like,
Well,
are we done?
are we done yet?
Well, and that
Yeah.
happened to me Tuesday. It was so
Yeah.
freaking hot.
so
I
this,
was like, are we done
so
yet?
when it's hot or when you have a slow round. And we had a full field this past weekend with the Invitational
We did.
where you competed. So we had 2 rounds of 5-hour plus rounds. And
was
Lou,
long.
Lou, I know you and I come from the same Joe Dell kind of.
Attention span.
Yeah, you just
Or lack thereof.
or no swings, just get up, hit it, and go.
yeah.
Let's move.
Yes. You want to practice
Play ready,
swing,
go.
go to the range.
Yeah,
of
play
that
ready, go.
school. I'm of that school.
Yeah.
I don't most of the times I don't even take a practice swing unless the ball's like above my
Let's just
feet
keep
or
it
something
moving.
weird.
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
The game's already long enough. We don't need to figure out the game as you're
Yeah.
lining it up.
Our round Monday out at Ogle Bay was over 5 hours. I was losing my shit. I was like, I'm done. I am so done.
Yeah, and I kind of had that feeling after I shot my 91 in the second round because I was like, I just got nothing. Well, and I got no golf.
That's like a Perry type of score.
Well,
That's pretty bad for you.
Well, I also have no golf stamina.
I don't either.
So
I played 3 rounds in 3 days. That's like
I played
That's
4.
what we did last. We were
So
talking
I
about
did a
that
practice
last week.
round,
Yeah.
and and by the time I got to round 3, it was the energy level was on fumes to start, and I tried to take a nap.
that's tough.
I tried
played
to-
that partner with you a few
Claude
years
was
ago.
saying, "No, you're not taking a nap. We're fucking working."
And I think didn't we play 2 rounds in one day or 27 holes in one day?
I think we did that one.
And it was so hot. We played against Mr. Smith and Mr. Screechy, I think.
Yeah.
And
And we
I
bored
was-
them.
and
We
it
bored
was-
them to death with our antics.
And it was like almost 100 degrees. I was dying.
But you
And then
still
you were like, "Can we go get a drink after?" I was
you
like,
weren't
"I'm
wearing the
going home.
stilettos, but you were in the fishnet nets with the shorts, and
like,
that was a good look.
I'm going home to get a shower, take a nap in the air conditioning. I'm done.
Hey guys, I don't know if you guys paid attention to this, but our bourbonometer tonight is not as low as it usually
No.
gets. By now, we're usually down to the Tanya taste. But
But I think
who is not here?
I want to blame it on the Nova Scotia.
Yeah, Nova Scotia.
Our northern traveler.
Our
northern traveler that's,
we're missing our buddy.
Yeah,
We
that
miss you,
helps
pal.
us partake. And you know what? We've saved some for you when you come back.
Yeah, we miss you, buddy.
We do miss you.
He adds a real
Did you see
flair
the-
to the group.
Did he found your legs in Nova Scotia?
Yeah,
He
I saw
did.
that.
Little mini legs.
I saw that.
And not just one, there were two.
Yeah, both.
Both?
Eric adds a whole different dynamic to the conversation, to the bourbon.
He's
Everything.
another drink in the, or he's another straw in the drink.
Another straw in the drink.
As a wise gentleman.
No
told me.
doubt. Life needs a drink, it needs ice, and it needs a straw.
And I think he seems to get smarter the more he drinks, where I get total stupid. Like I go the opposite direction. The more he drinks, the more his mind seems to click.
No,
I think he starts out that smart.
he's that
Well,
smart.
he is. I know he is
Yeah.
that smart.
Or maybe he just gets dumbed down to where we can understand him in the fifth second.
that could be. You could be right.
I mean, we get out of that CMU stuff, you know?
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're.
And by the way,
definitely-
you talk about AI, and a shout out to CMU, Eric's alma mater. They are cutting edge. They have some gentlemen down there and ladies that are freaking kicking it out of the ballpark when it comes to AI.
right in our backyard.
Right in our backyard, and in fact, they have a couple of folks that were the cutting edge folks in the video AI. And so when you talk about video AI, you're going, what is that? Is that like porn? No, it's not like what I'm going to put Perry on in the golf course. You know?
Didn't see that coming. I thought you went serious there for a
No,
moment.
I'm being serious. This is so.
Porn was made to watch, not to be a part of.
So I was at Dealmakers last, or I think it was Dealmakers. So it was AI. No, it was the. Oh, there's
Oh,
a
balls dropped.
about time.
Another ball.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we have this ice ball maker, and about every 15 or 20 minutes, new ice balls drop.
Crystal clear.
Crystal clear.
It just makes you want to drink more bourbon.
So there should be a sex. Probably not a sex.
No.
But
No.
what I'll
Can't
say
you-
is this about CMU is they have a couple gentlemen down there that I met when I was giving the speech at the manufacturing annual AI conference, and they had a booth, and I saw what they were doing with video AI, and they gave me a demonstration. So, and I'll use a kind of a very simplistic example of what it can do. It was a Starbucks example. So you know how busy Starbucks gets when you're serving coffee and how it can kind of get chaotic behind there. This AI is not just the security camera, but it is analyzing everything that's going on down below. And then it gives you feedback to say how they can optimize what they are watching.
Really?
Yeah. And
That's crazy.
that is the next kind of level when it comes to video AI.
So you've kind of talked about which of these platforms are more intellectual and thought-provoking. And you said, like Claude, its weakest spot is its video and imaging and whatnot. So obviously that's where the person who or the company that pulls it all together with the deep thought and the imaging and the video becomes the alpha dog.
Well, but this is where this may be different though, Lou, because it very well may be using a Claude LLM in the background to analyze the video. So, although it can't generate
Okay.
and my in the pros and cons of Claude it doesn't generate the videos and it just emits. That's just not what we're here for. We're here for the deep
It
reasoning.
writes the software that generates the videos.
Exactly. And
That's Claude.
and it has the LLM capacity to analyze a video. And now Gemini, and I just played with that this week.
It's awesome.
Gemini is getting to that level. So you put a video in and you ask it to edit it. Just put a clip of 15 seconds of you or whatever clip you put in there, and ask it to make it a marketable clip. That's where that's leading to. But this video technology that I'm talking about is real live security cameras that you would have on a premises otherwise. But now you have an AI background that's analyzing it for you and saying, are you optimizing the efficiencies of the business model that's down below? Or or if it's the security levels, now you've enhanced your security too. So now, is there ways we can draw in on that? We're not just watching, but maybe we can maybe we can immediately recognize that by doing a search on the web of who just came in and robbed their place. Right?
It's interesting that you put it in that perspective, but I get it. That totally makes sense.
So, and that's fifth segment.
As you're suggesting this, I'm just thinking the fifth segment is usually when we're off the rails, and all of a sudden we kind of like reverted back to segment one where we went deeper into the intellect and whatnot.
So I have a question. So you just brought up, you made me think of this and something you just said, Brad. So going back to the old police shows where a crime occurs and there are witnesses and there's some sketch artist that's sitting there asking the person, can you describe what the perp looked like? So do we even need them anymore? Can they sit there and say, oh, he had dark hair and he was such a height? Instead of somebody drawing that person, AI would actually put together an image of the person that they're describing. I mean, why couldn't you do that?
Well, you definitely could. So if you're describing it to AI, they could definitely put together a pretty accurate depiction.
So if AI was listening to them talking to a sketch artist, AI could be sketching it kind of in its brain.
And I would love to see a side by side how
I
accurate
would too.
That is compared to the artist.
I would too. Yeah.
Perry, you ask an interesting question because we have a friend. I don't want to use anybody's. B. Gaston, who is a researcher out at the University of Pennsylvania.
Him dick out.
And he has talked about molecules that they're working on that can recreate the signals that go from your eye to your brain, therefore you can say, what did you see? All you need to do is, with this molecule that they're working on or some process, they will be able to recreate what you saw.
So that you can see it
for
again,
law
or
enforcement,
so that
you can see it again. They can basically interpret. You don't have to try and explain it. They'll be able to interpret what you saw retroactively.
Well, and that's kind of the next level, right? So when our eyes become recording devices themselves,
that's basically it. Yeah, the eyes become a recording device.
It's just a matter of time.
I would think that would be something that the
Neuralink
research, that Neuralink is doing.
That's exactly what I'm thinking too, right? So
there's your next legal pursuit.
What
are the boundaries?
You talk about the Truman Show earlier in this show.
We did talk about
that's like the real live Truman.
Well, it is a real live Truman Show, but even in the Truman Show, they didn't have him recording. Everybody was.
I'm sure they were recording him.
He didn't realize he was
the subject.
So now put it in the perspective that Elon's next biggest invent. That's what I said. His biggest thing of all the things we've talked about, even putting AI into space and the orbit, right? It's Neuralink.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So when you start transplanting a chip into your brain, and you can now play video, and I'm using very simplistic things that they used early on in the test studies overseas because the FDA wouldn't allow them to do that, or whoever the regulatory agency is. There's no way it's going to go quickly through that. So Elon's a global company, and he figured it out. There was two young 20-somethings playing Call of Duty against each other without joysticks, just using their minds.
Damn.
We're living in an amazing time.
Right. So now, mind you, if you have Neuralink, and this is where I get into the algorithmic state in the last chapters, this is where it gets really kind of
scary.
Well, sci-fi.
Oh, no doubt.
So
Skynet.
Well, even more so, Per, because now imagine you have this Neuralink. So you can imagine the abilities of monitoring, recording, but it gets to even a next level when you can download all the information that you would want into your brain. I
don't want to be there. I want to go to an island where they don't have electricity.
Or clothing.
Well, yeah, that's an added bonus.
You still going to flare the pinky when you're drinking the coconuts?
Hey, look at Louie lifting that nut.
Look, and no matter how I hold my glass, it's always out there like that.
We love that about you, Louie.
Cheers, brother. And you know what? You know, the rest of our fifth segment is
Yeah, enjoy some of this footage.
It's gonna be the footage of us playing golf.
Yeah, enjoy some
on the 4th of July.
This is going to be hilarious.
Happy 250th,
Right?
America.
Here's 250.
Go USA.
Right?
Beat Belgium. Let's make waffles.
Let's go play golf, boys.
Cheers. Let's go.
Cheers.
So we're picking back up with the fifth segment on the
Fifth segment on the fifth tee on the 4th of July. We got Bourbon with Brad, Loubricity, and Perry.
Yeah.
250 years. Here's to America.
Happy birthday, America.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Go ahead and tee off, Lou.
We're teeing it up. I hope one of our neighbor friends here on the course has bourbon real soon.
Yeah, the sooner the better. Yeah, the form is looking good, Lou.
Show us the way, Louie.
Oh, that's how you get out of the gate. It's gonna play.
That's how you get out of the fairway.
And you didn't hit the camera. That's even more important.
I was actually, that was my
least you-
biggest concern is not hitting the camera.
Yeah, at least you didn't smash the phone. That's a good thing.
See, the key is not to practice.
That's right. That's right. Where's the slides?
Right? Yeah, well, that wasn't too good.
Hold up. Hold up. It'll play, right? Is this a scramble?
No. Wish
Just
it was.
play your own ball.
Yeah, best of two.
Fuck.
All right, Pear.
All right, this is the
stilettos?
well, they're in the cart.
Okay, so make sure.
I'm going to save them for 13 in case I need to go in and, tape up my ankle
Yeah.
at your house.
All right. That's cart golf.
Whoa.
That is cart golf.
Gentlemen, it looks like we are obviously all at minimum lubricity
We
right
are not
now.
at maximum lubricity yet, but
In
we
fact,
will
we're-
be by the time this is
it-
over. I guarantee.
So we're 3 holes into this, and taste for Tanya is actually 2 under par. That's 200 par gross.
Gross.
Gross 2 under par.
Should be 3.
We can't call it gross though, because that was not gross. That was beautiful.
It
Should
was.
be 3 under, but she missed lift out for birdie on her second hole.
Boys on.
See you on the next tee.
Here we are on number 8.
Oh, wow.
Great putt.
Why don't you go, Tanya, since you just got to see that one?
You might have made it. Go. Get there. Well, the greens are slow today.
Wow.
Well, as long
But-
as you go by.
But look how perfect the greens are. Aren't these the nicest greens you've ever seen?
Oh, you got to hit it. That wasn't very good.
No, one of our better efforts there, Mitch. A little bit slower today than usual.
Yeah, a little rain last night.
Yep.
Other end.
Buy it. Six. From there, that's pretty bad.
That's definitely going to make the footage.
Oh,
Sorry, buddy.
Tanya makes it again.
Oh, so close.
we were all right there.
All right, well,
So we're going to have to adjust from last week, obviously, Mitch, because the greens are slow today.
They are slow.
course is in great shape, though.
Okay, one bad hole. That's okay.
Oh, that was my fault.
6-5.
110 yards.
So I had the worst score on that. Do I have to walk up to the next one?
No, we're going to
Because
waive
this walk sucks.
We're allowed to waive that rule.
All right,
Yeah, especially
signing
in this
off.
hole, right?
All right, me and Louie.
Hey.
Hi, Lou.
Oh, hey, Bear.
I don't know how to flip the camera around
I don't either.
once it's recording. Maybe you can't. Beautiful day.
It is.
We had a crazy storm come through last night, but today is gorgeous. It's a little hot.
It's a lot hot.
Looking over my shoulder.
Hello. Hey, John and Natalie.
they're still in bed. Hey, look.
Hey, there we are.
I don't make it on camera very often, and now you see why.
There.
Peace out.
There's radios for a reason.
That's right. And here we are at the 13.5/ Bourbon Studios, and there's our setup from behind. Something that our viewers don't see very often.
This is what happens.
That's the set. That's the stage. It's where it all takes place.
Final part of the 5th segment, and we are enjoying this Heaven Hill. It is hot.
I'm going to set my phone down so I can partake in the drink.
250-year anniversary, and it's 125 degrees.
Happy birthday, America. May you not.
It's well worth it.
May we not burn up before we hit 300.
Yeah, maybe not. I'll be jumping in the pond before it's all over.
This is what happens when your team was favored to win the event, and now we're in about 9th place with only 7 holes deep. And our rock star, Tanya. You've all heard about Tanya's taste?
Tanya's taste?
Tanya is our star today. She
is.
birdied 2 of the first 3 holes.
Yeah, could have been 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Just flipped out on the other one, too.
No doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. But what do we got going here again?
Heaven Hill.
Heaven Hill.
So without our friend who was visiting the greater Canadian area, we didn't get through that bottle the other night.
No, we still got a little left for him, too, and he curls back up next week.
Miss you, Eric. Can't wait to see you back in the studio,
as soon
buddy.
as the Canadians let him leave.
All right, signing off. Cheers.
See you back on the golf course.
All right, so out of the Bourbon Studios.
Out of the Bourbon Studios.
Out of the Bourbon Studios.
We came in for a workout mid round.
Still got our Heaven Hill in hand.
Still got our Heaven Hill.
I get a cup full of ice on my cart. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Because I'm a wuss. I got to have the ice.
And right back out to the back of the golf course.
There's a great view of Louis' ass.
You're going to get some swamp ass view right now. And we're back.
And
to
we're back.
golf.
Oh, the Bourbon was better. I was even par down there.
How about this, Perry? Okay, this is why I think we should debate whether this is a 13th and a half hole or the 12th and a half hole. But nonetheless, this is what we got going here.
Right, and my ball is right by those carts, and it's out of bounds, which really sucks.
It does suck.
There's Tanya. Tanya, wave. You're our star so far.
She's our A player.
She's holding us in it.
Jesus, this is a hill, Brad. You're going to have to level this out or put an escalator in for us old guys.
I'm going to sign off because I get a hit.
Yeah,
somebody else to take.
that is it.
Go ahead.
The last time you saw us, we were at the 12 and a half or 13 and a half hole, coming out of the basement with our new friend. What has happened since then?
There's been, between the two of you, 4 birdies in 9 holes. Or not 9 holes.
Under after 7 or 8 holes now in a row?
5 holes, 6 holes.
Do you know what that is?
4 birdies.
That is Optimum Loubricity.
We are optimized.
You guys are optimized.
Optimization.
So we're going to take a little nip now.
You should have a little celebratory nip.
In Western Pennsylvania, we call this a swig.
That's right.
Nice.
Take us out of optimal.
Yes.
Cheers.
And there's the Tanya taste. Hi, Tanya.
Give it to him. Make it 3.
Oh, that was almost for a birdie, pair. Well done, though.
Nice par.
This has been Bourbon with Brad. Be sure to like and follow. Cheers.
The views and opinions shared on the Bourbon with Brad podcast are our own and those of our guests. Nothing we discuss should be taken as financial, legal, business, or gambling advice. Don't make investment, business, or betting decisions based on our conversations, as you should always talk to a qualified professional. Always drink responsibly, never drink and drive, and only consume alcohol if you are of legal drinking age.